Happy day before the 4th of July. I'm Rob Stanek alongside. Wow, man, every time we do this, I start hearing some. I think that's too loud. Field mic's too loud. All right. Happy July the 3rd. It's a beautiful day for baseball, and that's what exactly what we're about to get. I'm sorry, my train of thought is lost because I'm getting some weird sounds in my headphones. That's a little bit better, but not great. Okay. Anyway, now I'm going to actually talk and get this thing going. Okay. We got the home plate meeting going on right now, but the field's still being watered. We're trying to grow some crops out there. Joe, you looked at me a little here. Can you not hear me? Are you having issues?
No, we're good. We're good. So no worries about that.
All right, maybe our input's a little too high. I'm not really sure. That sounds better for me. How about you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so we got to start testing this out maybe beforehand a little bit better. So July the 3rd, tomorrow everybody's going to be sitting down for some hot dogs, hamburgers, the whole like, some fireworks maybe. The Dodgers want to get some fireworks here tonight as they're taking on the Gaithersburg Giants. Giants coming in at 14-12. The Dodgers 10-15 after a doubleheader sweep. Their first annual homecoming game played at Johns Hopkins University.
Yep, like you said, Dodgers took on the Rockville Express for a pair of games on Saturday. Won both of them. First game, had the lead early, scored 5 runs. Go ahead, 5-0. Casey Gass was on the mound. Had a little bit of trouble down the stretch. Couldn't finish off the game, but it was not a big deal as Connor Grove came on towards the end, got the save, got the game locked up for the Dodgers. They got the first one. Then in the second game, Dodgers were actually down for the majority of the game, if not the entirety. They were down 2-1 going into the bottom half of the 7th inning. 2 7-inning games and a double header here in the Cal Ripken League. First pitch that Jaron Shelby saw in that bottom of the 7th inning, shot it out into right center field. Home run tied the game. Dodgers ended up getting the bases loaded. They intentionally walked Joey Ortiz, this team's most consistent hitter. Brought up Nick Ortega, who has been struggling on the season, admittingly, and he hit a ball hard down the third base line. An RBI single was a walk-off, won the second game for the Dodgers. And they've taken 5 of their last 7, and currently, Rob, sitting only a half game out of the wild card spot for this season.
Yeah, the DC Grays currently ahead of them, as you said, a half game ahead. The Dodgers, the good weekend didn't end on Saturday, as the DC Grays took on our best frenemies. If you follow our Twitter account, you might see it. Our best frenemies, the Bethesda Big Train. They had a doubleheader yesterday, and the Big Train come out on top. They sweep that doubleheader, bring the Dodgers another game closer to the Grays. And we're getting set to announce the starting lineups here for the Gaithersburg Giants. So let's turn things over to Billy Goheen, the public address announcer for the Baltimore Dodgers.
To Joe Kane Stadium, home of your Baltimore Dodgers. Today, your Baltimore Dodgers will host the Gaithersburg Giants. And now, the starting lineup for the visiting Gaithersburg Giants. Manager of the Giants, number 16, Jeff Raberman. Assistant coaches, number 18, Scott Blackwood, and number 0, Pat Heisel. Pitching coach, number 12, Jesse Frawley. Batting first, center fielder from Charleston Southern University, number 3, Ryan Brown. Batting second, right fielder from the University of Texas Austin, number 19, Trace Busey. Batting third, the catcher from the University of Kentucky, number 21, J.P. Bitzenhofer. Batting fourth, the designated hitter from the University of Pacific, number 30, Mark Fraser. Batting fifth, left fielder from Auburn University, number 33, Stephen Williams. Batting sixth, first baseman from Coastal Carolina University, number 28, Dax Roper. Batting seventh, third baseman from Coastal Carolina University, number 25, Cam Ramalia. Batting eighth, second baseman from Mississippi State University, number 13, Jordan Westberg. And in the ninth hole, the shortstop from Mount St. Mary's University, number 2, Patrick Causa. On the mound today for the Gaithersburg Giants from Texas State University, number 45, Alex Klitzis.
Rob Statnick back here alongside Joey White to get you amped up for this ball game between the Baltimore Dodgers and the Gaithersburg Giants. You just heard the starting lineups for the Gaithersburg Giants. We'll get the starting lineups for the Baltimore Dodgers here shortly once the field crew is done with the field. I want to apologize, obviously. First pitch is generally scheduled for 7 o'clock here. We have not hit that yet this season. Actually, Saturday, we were supposed to play at 3, and we couldn't start that on time because the umpires didn't get there on time. They had a long walk over at Johns Hopkins University. But the Gaithersburg Giants, they're coming in, and they actually swept the Redbirds yesterday in their own doubleheader.
Right, and this is a team whose offense for the most part of the season has been pretty good. They had about 10 straight games this year where they scored at least 6 runs. They won 7 or 8 of those. So they're a team coming in with a lot of confidence offensively. Had a tougher weekend in terms of run production, but they're a team that can definitely do it. And then on the mound, one of the real highlights for this team is actually the bullpen. We talked to the Gaithersburg Giants play-by-play guy who was up in the booth here a little bit earlier, described how well their bullpen's done for them this season. So when you have a good bullpen and when you have a good offense, you're going to be in games late and hopefully be able to put them away. And that's what they're going to look to do here today in Joe Cannon Stadium.
Yeah, the pitching staff for the Gaithersburg Giants has done a pretty good job here in the early going, or I shouldn't say the early going. We're through over half. We're almost in the home stretch here as the All-Star game is going to be soon. And now we're going to go ahead to Billy Goheen to get the starting lineups for the Baltimore Dodgers.
And now, introducing the starting lineup for your Baltimore Dodgers. Manager of the Baltimore Dodgers, number 4, Derek Brown. Assistant coach of the Baltimore Dodgers, number 5, Juan Waters. And pitching coach of the Baltimore Dodgers, number 52, Ed Chestnut. Batting first, second baseman from New Mexico State University, number 1, Joey Ortiz. Batting second, left fielder from Creighton University, number 3, Nick Ortega. Batting third, the designated hitter from the University of California, Berkeley, number 2, Brandon McElwain. Batting fourth, the first baseman from Creighton University, number 24, Shane Coker. Batting fifth, the shortstop from the State College of Florida, number 12, Austin James. Batting sixth, center fielder from the State College of Florida, number 30, Jaron Shelby. Batting seventh, third baseman from Wake Forest University, number 19, Zach Seal. Batting eighth, the catcher from Eastern Michigan University, number 9, Alex Walansky. And batting ninth, the right fielder from New Mexico State University, number 13, David Bellamy. And on the mound today for the Baltimore Dodgers from Johns Hopkins University, number 36, Josh Hedgka.
And that's the starting lineup for your Baltimore Dodgers as they take on the Gaithersburg Giants. As I was saying, the Gaithersburg pitching staff has been pretty good here in the last few games. 6 of their 7 wins, 2 or fewer runs allowed. So the Baltimore Dodgers offense is going to have their work cut out for them as the Dodgers starting to take the field here. And we're going to have the national anthem momentarily. But who are you looking for as a key in this ball game for the Dodgers offensively?
Well, I think I'm going to go on the mound and say Josh Hedgeka, who's been the best starter in the Cal Ripken League this season, had 3 starts, pulled out 3 wins. And then we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second as the national anthem is about to play.
And here's Billy Goheen again for the national anthem.
Our freedom and those that protect it, both here and away. Please stand, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of free and the hope of the
All right, national anthem's done. Pre-game festivities all taken care of here at Joe Cannon Stadium. Back here at the friendly confines. And we were in some friendly confines. Well, at least the players were in some friendly confines over at Johns Hopkins University. We were in a sweat box. But some of the players here, some are going to be happy. Some maybe not so much to be back here at Joe Cannon Stadium.
Yeah, some of the people that are going to be most disappointed are the Dodgers hitters as well as the Giants. Baltimore Dodgers played at Johns Hopkins University's Bob Babb Field at Stromberg Stadium. Really what we'd call a bandbox of a ballpark, really shallow in the outfield, 307 to one corner, 295 into the right field corner. So there was a hitter's ballpark in terms of being able to get balls over the fence. We saw that with Jaron Shelby, who smacked a home run out into right center field. That would not have been a home run here at Joe Cannon Stadium. As for the Dodgers pitchers, they're going to enjoy it a lot more. They're not playing on the turf. That means coming off the bat, the ball, it's going to be slower through the infield. It's going to be easier for their defenders to pick up and read, and also a lot more fly ball outs are going to occur here at home in Hanover. Although for Josh Hedgeka, coming from Johns Hopkins University, he was used to playing on that turf. I actually got to talk to him a little bit during the last game. He says the ground balls are a little bit more fair, a little bit more true on turf. But in this game, the Dodgers are used to playing on a grass field, on a dirt field more than they are on turf. So it's a welcome return home for everybody for sure.
Yeah, Josh Hedgeka making his 4th start of the season. He's 3-0 on the year and has 3-1 on the year and has a save. His one loss coming in relief appearance, coming into the final game of the suspended game against the Baltimore Redbirds, went 2 2/3 and ended up losing the game on an error by the left fielder Brian Tago, trying to throw the ball back to second base to get a runner. Trying to stretch into a double and allowing the runner from third to go ahead and score on the overthrow. As we're going to get things started, Ryan Brown's going to stand in to lead things off for the Giants. Defense for the Dodgers behind the plate is Alex Wolanski, the battery mate of Josh Hedgeka. Over at third is Zach Seal, just coming over from Wake Forest not too long ago, getting the start again over there at third base. Over at short, Austin James, surprise, surprise, his double play partner, Joey Ortiz, another shocking development with Ortiz manning the bag at second. Over at first base, Shane Coker joining the team. This is his 11th game. And we're underway as a swing and a miss by Brown gets things off nicely. First pitch, 7-12. We're dialing it in here. We're getting closer and closer to 7 o'clock. As soon as this first batter is done, I'll get you the rest of the lineup. Line drive, foul, out of play. And bullpen catcher over there, and see who it was. Trey Martinez ducking out of the way. The ball well out of play, but I think his teammate didn't do him any favors. As he told him heads up, the ball well out of play on the right side. The 0-2 is going to miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. None of you have gotten to see that to this point. There we are. Welcome in. Now you can see the picture. Not that you really can get a whole lot of in-depth. Breaking ball catching the outside corner. Josh Hedgeka with his first strikeout. Nice little frisbee breaking ball right there. And down on strikes goes Ryan Brown. Let's finish up the outfield for the Dodgers. In left field is the hero from Game 2. Back on Saturday, Nick Ortega. Center field, Jaron Shelby, the other hero. We'll call him Hero 1, or Hero A and Hero A1. And over and right, David Bellamy. Trace Busey swings and misses at the first delivery offered to him, and he's down on the count, no balls and a strike.
This has been a great start for Josh so far, really working his pitches in. The first pitch that he threw to the batter, Ryan Brown, he barely wanted to swing through it.
And a fastball is going to miss down and in. That'll even the count at a ball and a strike. Busey, the right fielder today for the Giants, batting from the left side. As Hedgeka comes home, a breaking ball. That's going to catch the outside corner as well. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Busey. Busey, coming off his freshman season for the University of Texas Longhorns from Corpus Christi, Texas, awaits the 1-2. And fastball going to miss just maybe a little up. I think that got the plate, but a ball called, so probably above the letters. Evening the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Busey has recorded hits in 9 games this season. 4 of those 9 games have been multi-hit games. So if he gets a hit, you know he's locked in. He's most likely going to pick up another one at some point. The 2-2 is going to miss the outside corner. That'll run the count full to Busey. Hedgeka works from the far first base side of the rubber, toe just barely touching that piece of slab there as he comes set and delivers in a foul ball back into the stands. That might have actually gotten through the stands. There's a little break between the roof here and where the metal stands are. That's something else they didn't have at Johns Hopkins. No roof, no sort of shade for anybody in the stands. So it was a tough day. There's a lot of umbrellas, partially because of the rain. A breaking ball is not going to come back. And Busey's going to work the walk. Good at bat there by Busey. Being down 1-2, coming back and working the walk.
And if you're the Gaithersburg Giants hitters today, and you know that Josh Hedgeka's on the mound, the ace of this staff and one of the best pitchers in the Cal Ripken League, you're going to want to work counts deep. You want to get him out of the game as long as possible. He's been a guy this season who's been able to go 8 innings. Working his pitch count up high early will make things a lot easier for the Dodgers going later for the Giants going later into this game.
As J.P. Bitzenhofer will stand in and take a delivery that misses, a ball to Bitzenhofer to get things started. So Hedgeka, maybe not his normal pinpoint self here in the early going. Nothing to be too concerned with. A strikeout and a walk so far. Fastball is going to miss. 2 balls and no strikes. And Hedgeka is going to take some time to think about it. It's normally a very quick worker, gets the ball back and toes the slab right away, decides to step off, take a little bit of a walk. And now he's back set, and he'll come home to 2-0. That's in there for a strike. Nice pitch there by Hedgeka to get back in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, he's definitely Rob Manfred's dream, the commissioner of Major League Baseball, trying to speed things up. If Hedgeka's on the mound, you know we're going to have a pretty quick game.
Middle infield for the Dodgers at double play depth. It's a good middle infield, a middle infield that very easily could become, is now time called, very easily could become all-stars, and they could be manning the middle infield down in Bethesda a week from today, I believe. I have to double-check that. So I've got it right here. Breaking ball going to miss the inside corner. Hedgeka, another player, yes, a week from today. 6 days and 23 hours, 42 minutes, the All-Star game will take place. So those two could be at the middle infield down in Bethesda for the All-Star game. 3-1, a swing and a miss by Bitzenhofer. Another player likely to be at that field is on the mound. That's Josh Hedgeka. 3-2 the count on the 3-place hitter for the Giants. Cal Ripken League was invited to play in the Southern Collegiate Showcase, which takes collegiate summer league teams to throw over to first, and getting back safely is Busey. Takes summer league teams and just puts them together in a tournament. You kind of wonder, one, they're going to be picking the players for that as that takes place in the middle of July. And the runner goes, the ball fouled back at the plate. The Cal Ripken League first game is going to be against the Sun Belt League on July the 15th at 4 p.m. So we're still going to be in the stretch run of the season. Our final game is the 21st of July. So we're talking about actually have a double header the day before the first game for the Cal Ripken League. Runner goes again, chopper towards short. They try to get the runner at second in time, and the throw to first completes the double play. So the runner moving does not keep the Giants out of the double play as a 6-4-3 puts it to an end. We'll talk a little bit more about that Southern League Showcase, or that Southern Collegiate Showcase, in just a minute when we get back. We're scoreless. Dodgers coming to bat. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Welcome back to Joe Cannon Stadium. I'm Rob Stadnick alongside Joey White. And Joey, Klitz is here for the Giants, making just his second start of the season. Mostly he's been coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, Alex Klitzis out of Texas State University. Like you said, mostly been a reliever making his second start of the year. Only 15 innings. He's not gone longer than 3 in a game this season. 4 in a game this season. So the Dodgers are going to try to look to get on him early and often. For the Giants right now, they just are coming off of a doubleheader on Sunday, used a lot of pitching, so they're not going to want to go to their bullpen very early. They're hoping for about 5 innings out of him. It would be his longest start of the year, but has a little bit of a slider curve combination, really works his fastball more than anything else. So Dodgers are going to have to look out for him, and they're going to want to be aggressive early.
Yeah, Klitz is not somebody that's prone to getting the pitch count up. Obviously, being a reliever, that doesn't happen very often, but very good control. 2 walks, 13 strikeouts, just 2 walks. So, usually you say you want to get the pitch count up, and you try to make him throw more pitches. Unfortunately, in this case, those extra pitches might result in more strikes and having you down in the count. So you have to kind of be careful there and pick your spots. Joey Ortiz will stand in to get things started here for the Dodgers. Joey Ortiz's average dipping just a little bit after that doubleheader. 299 he sits now on the season. His fastball will miss in the dirt. We can say dirt again. 1 ball, no strikes. And a breaking ball will be in there for a strike on the corner. Joey Ortiz, one of those players that I mentioned, could end up going down to play in this Southern Collegiate Showcase that takes place middle of July. Fastball way outside and in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. And I'm a little concerned for the Dodgers. This being a push run, they've got 2 players that could go. shortstop and our second baseman, and they have manned that position pretty much all season with very few days off.
Yeah, definitely. Joey Ortiz started every game this season for the Baltimore Dodgers at second base. Austin James played almost every game. Two guys in their lineup who supply the majority of their hitting and the majority of their RBIs.
So you'd think the Dodgers might be a little worried in that scenario. Some runs maybe not coming across the board. A delivery that misses, and then a delivery in there for a strike, 3-2 on Ortiz, and a hard hit ground ball up the middle, and that batting average is back up over 300 as he gets a hit early in the game. Something else we heard earlier today, if Klitz's fastball is getting hit, he's getting hit. In his only start of the season, only lasted 2/3 of an inning, similar to our very own John Sikowski. He only lasted 1/3 of an inning, but 6 runs, 6 hits. In Sikowski, it was 1/3, and Klitzis was 2/3 of an inning. So maybe a little bit of a different mindset coming in, to start a game rather than coming out of the bullpen. So the focus maybe not there. It's the first delivery, breaking ball in there for a strike to Ortega. Ortiz over at first base, the Dodgers stolen base leader, and there he goes. Fastball swung on a miss. Throw down to second is not in time. Gets off the glove of the shortstop, Causa. No, excuse me, that was the second base covering Westberg. He's able to knock it down, keep it from going into center. Ortiz into second base with a stolen base. That is Ortiz's 13th stolen base on the season without being caught. As Ortega down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Klitzis will come set, check on the runner at second, come home. Breaking ball will miss away and down. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ortega.
Another opportunity for Ortega to accumulate an RBI. The last time he had this chance was a walk-off single down the third base line that scored one, put the Dodgers ahead 3-2 last Saturday.
And that was the final hit. Neat as a swing and a miss in the dirt. And the ball picked up by Blitzenhofer, and he throws down to first to complete the strikeout. First strikeout of the game for Klitzis. Ortiz will stay right where he's at.
From the University of California, Berkeley, number 2.
As to continue on about losing the majority of our RBIs, last game we saw, or I should say in the doubleheader, we saw Jaron Shelby, a player that the Dodgers have high hopes for and still do. He's been struggling a bit this year as McElwain standing in, taking a breaking ball down low. He's been struggling this summer, but he had a home run to the opposite field and a double in the doubleheader. So maybe starting to see the ball a little bit better, and he'll be able to start supplying some RBIs. The 1-0, fastball that'll miss up, 2 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, definitely. And in that game, Shelby also lined one really hard right to the left fielder in that second game. So he's a guy who's starting to see the ball a little bit better. Hopefully that translates back to the Joe.
2 balls and no strikes to count, and a breaking ball will catch the outside corner. And McElwain having a little conversation with the home plate umpire. I don't think the home plate umpire wants to divulge in his conversation. I think he just said, "Step back into the batter's box, son. Let me do my job." So not a very cordial conversation there. 2-1. Hard hit fly ball out in the center. Right there is Brown. He'll make the catch. Ortiz tagging. He's going to go to third, and he's going to get there easily.
One of the things that a lot of the Dodgers players talk about is just how fast Joey Ortiz actually is. Like you said, that was his 13th base stolen in this game. His 13th base stolen this season without being caught. And he's one of the more reliable gloves in the field at second. Incredible range. He's made some fantastic plays this season in the field as well.
As now Shane Coker will stand in. Coker playing in his 11th game for the Dodgers this summer. Last season was second on the team in RBIs. He played most of the games for the Dodgers, and they're going to appeal at second to see if Ortiz left early, and he didn't. Surprising there, they didn't maybe try and steal a run. That ball's in play. If they try and appeal down to second, Ortiz can score while they appeal down to second base. Ortiz wasn't even off the bag looking like he would attempt it. So maybe the Dodgers missing an opportunity there. You don't know if he, obviously, because if he tries to score and they get him out, he's out anyway. So the delivery to Coker in the dirt. But maybe worth the shot here. I mean, you have one of your better bats coming to the plate, but also you get to lead off if he gets out in that scenario. But Either way, runner on third base, 2 away for Shane Coker. It's a high fly ball out into shallow left field. Coming in is Williams, and he'll make the catch. So in hindsight, they probably should have tried to make that play as Coker flies out to left, and that'll do it for the Dodgers. They get a run. They leave a runner 90 feet away. We're going to head to the second. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball.
Joey White over here with Rob. I know maybe you're trying to get rid of me?
I mean, I think he'd do a pretty good job up here in the booth. For those of you who didn't hear it, I called Joey White Joey Ortiz. I hadn't actually switched back over to the field view, so you might not have heard my little mess up, but we'll pull back the curtain here, and you'll get to see the Wizard. As Mark Fraser will stand in and take a strike. First delivery for him, the number 4 hitter in the DH for the Giants here today. Joey White beside me offering up the color commentaries of breaking ball outside. Doing a good job of it, obviously. Otherwise, we wouldn't have him up here.
Back down to the game. Fraser, 23 games this season, as he hit the towering fly ball out to center field.
And that's going to hit off the warning track out there in center by the 410 sign. Good thing we're not at Johns Hopkins. That ball looked to be like a bit of a pop-up, to be perfectly honest. And Shelby just kept going back and going back and going back, and the ball got down.
Well, that's something that the Gaithersburg Giants play-by-play man said about Fraser is his power is pretty incredible, and his ability to hit fly. It looked like a fly ball off the bat, and it kept carrying over the head of the center fielder, Jaron Shelby. Dropped right on the warning track, right by the 410 sign, the deepest part of the ballpark, and he's on second.
Good thing Fraser, not a lot of speed. As a fly ball is going to get down into center field. Shelby up with it. He's going to come home. And the throw is going to be cut off by Coker. And 2 hits. And the Giants have the lead here. 1-0 as a couple hits out into center field. And Hedgka giving up a run, which is very rare to see from the Submariner Josh Hedgka.
Yeah, not a normal start for Hedgka. Usually is able to get through a decent amount of innings before ever relinquishing anything, and that was 2 quick hits, 2 pitches, and all of a sudden Hedgka puts himself in a little bit of trouble here with no one out.
Well, it's just 1 run, so not a big deal. Runner first base, nobody away. We see that plenty of times, so not too bad. Just the 4th run surrendered by Hedgka this year. Just the 3rd earned run as a breaking ball catch the outside corner as Dax Roper standing in.
The one thing it is going to hurt is his Cal Ripken League leading ERA. It was 0.64 coming into this game.
Well, if he can finish the game, it's a fastball missed down low. Ball and a strike. If he can finish the entire game, should be fine. It's just a 1 ERA over his .64 ERA coming in. So it shouldn't hurt it too bad. So Hedgka looks like he had a bit of trouble with the landing hole out there on the mound here at Joe Cannon. Now getting the baseball back, had to fill it in a little bit. Comes set and he'll come home. Chopper towards third. Seal lets it pop out of his glove, and there's going to be no play. Seal taking his eyes off the baseball, and the runners will advance. Roper reaching on the E5.
third baseman from Coastal Carolina University, number 25, Cam Romalia.
And now Cam Romalia will come to the plate. No guarantee you get Steven Williams over at second, but most likely Dax Roper will be eliminated on that chopper to third. So runners at first and second, where we'd probably normally only see runners at second. A good bunt there and a throw away by Wolanski. Coming in is Williams. Going to third base is Roper. And the Dodgers do not look like they are focused and ready to play this game, as Zach Seal wasn't even in to try and field that bunt. And Wolanski came out to get it and throws the ball away. That should be a hit for Romalia and an error allowing the runner to score.
Definitely not the start that the Baltimore Dodgers wanted. I was just about to mention about how the Dodgers have had trouble fielding third base. 3 different guys have played over there this season. Taj Porter, Paul DePino, and now Zach Seal having a tough time getting consistent fielding out of that corner. And then Wolanski throws that one past Shane Cooker. That brings in another run.
And now Jordan Westberg standing the plate, and he swings and misses at the first delivery. They're not going to award a hit on that play to Dax Roper. I completely disagree. It would have been a bang-bang play. He very well could have beaten that. So I think he deserves a hit there. So we're going to call it a hit for the rest of this broadcast. It's not going to show up in the official scorebook as the foul ball back here to the backstop from Westberg. As Hedgka, with runners at the corners and nobody out now, will come set and come home. And that's a fastball in there for strike 3. I was watching the home plate umpire. It was delayed and not at all like a normal strike 3 call. He was like, strike. Oh, 3! He just was like kind of nonchalant.
Was not very convincing. That's the second time he's made sort of a delayed call like that. The other one came on a strike against Brandon McElwain. Kind of different. You see some of the nuances of the umpires. He kind of goes out things a different way.
And a throw over to first base to check on Romalia, and he picks him off. Romalia caught leaning, so now 2 away with a runner at third base, and Hedgka could get out of this with just the 2 runs scoring. Patrick Causa now at the plate. Righty-righty matchup. As Hedgka will deliver the first pitch. And that's a breaking ball that's fouled out of play by Causa. Causa will be a junior at St. Mary's University. Coming in the fall, and he hits a high fly ball out in the right. Bellamy is under it, and he'll make the catch for out number 3. So strikeout, a pickoff, and a fly ball to right gets Hedgka out of it, but not before the Giants score a pair. Dodgers coming to bat in their half of the second inning. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Welcome back to Joe Cannon Stadium. Austin James standing in. Swings and misses at an off-speed delivery from Klitzis. Sorry about that. Dodgers trailing here 2-0. As you can see on your screen, bottom half of the second inning, line drive out and to right, but right there is Busey to make the catch and record the out. So a couple of hard hit balls right at some outfielders. So a little bit of some hard hit balls, but maybe just not finding the green. So a bit of a few encouraging signs here for the Dodgers hitting, as the fastball will catch the outside corner against Jaron Shelby. Last time we saw Shelby at the dish, he drove one Oppo Popo over the right center field wall for a home run. See what he can do here as the 0-1 pitch comes, and he's out in front of an off-speed delivery and down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Shelby has had some difficulty with the strikeouts this season. 26 strikeouts coming in, and it's going to be 27 as he swings and misses the pitch off the plate, unable to check it. And quickly the Dodgers 2 down here in the bottom half of the second inning.
And this is exactly what the normal reliever Klitzis wants in this game. 3 to 4 pitches are in the early going of this second inning, generates 2 outs.
Yeah, as you mentioned, somebody not used to going a lot of innings, so the Dodgers, doing them a few favors here. Just 5 pitches so far in this inning. First delivery in there to Zach Seal for a strike, and the 0-1 missing up and away. Seal playing in his 11th game for the Dodgers, played in both front and back half of the doubleheader on Saturday. The fastball catching the inside corner. Seal has a few questions for the home plate umpire on that one. The 1-2, that's in the dirt. And outside, Seal able to check his swing. And it'll even the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zach Seal went a long time without getting his first hit, just his 11th game, as I mentioned before. But his first hit came June 8th in the 4-1 win against the Redbirds. That was just last Wednesday. So breaking ball is going to miss the outside corner. Blitzenhofer holding it there for the umpire, but he was holding it about 6 inches off the outside corner. It hit the glove, but you can't hold it out there if you want, the umpire to call it. You got to bring that back if you want to get that call. 3-2 the count on Seal. And he swings and misses, and down goes Seal. That's the 3rd strikeout of the game by Klitzis. The Dodgers down in order in the second. Giants lead 2-0 as we head to the third. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Welcome back to Joe Cannon Stadium. I'm Rob Stadnick alongside Joey White. 2-0 ball game here at the Joe as the Giants come to bat in the top half of the third inning. Josh Hedgeka struggling, something we have not seen to this point of the season.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic. Had a rough outing to start that one off. Start off the top half of the second inning. Gave up a double and a single, pretty much back to back. Gave him the first run.
Ground ball to third. Zach Steele gets a chance at redemption. He'll throw a little bit high, but Coker able to hold the bag to make the out. Zach Steele having a rough day over there at third base.
And continuing on with that, he had the error on third after the RBI single by Steven Williams that eventually came all the way around and scored for the second run. Or pardon me, that error brought around Steven Williams to score the second run of the game.
As Trace Busey will now stand in to take his turn. He walked his last time. Takes a fastball in there for a strike. No balls and one strike to the right fielder for the Giants here today. Righty-lefty matchup here, so Busey with that advantage. So he doesn't have to worry about the ball coming from behind him. It's a foul ball over towards the Cars. And I think it missed everything. It was close.
As you mentioned, though, the left-handed hitter there, Busey, doesn't have to deal with that frisbee coming in on him, and that was something Hedgeka talked about really struggling with facing left-handed hitters.
Little looper out into left, but Ortega there, and he makes the catch for out number 2. So maybe we're getting to see Hedgeka settle down a little bit and just a matter of the bats eventually waking up.
Now that the catcher from Kentucky, number 21, J.P. Bitzenhofer.
That'll bring up J.P. Bitzenhofer. Love the name. One of the best names in the Cal Ripken League.
Got a nice catcher matchup here. Alex Wolanski versus J.P. Bitzenhofer. Some real nice long last names for the backstops.
As Bitzenhofer grounding into this 6-4-3 double play the last time. Busey was actually on the move when that happened, and that frisbee breaking ball will catch the outside corner for a strike. Bitzenhofer down in the count. No balls and a strike. And Hedgeka again working quickly, and that looked like a changeup that's going to miss down low. It's a good pitch, but just missing. If you're going to miss with a changeup, that's where you want to miss. Not a lot of wind here to speak of at Joe Cannon. Foul ball back wide of the stands and over to the little park that's off there on the first base side. I mean, it's a good distance over. That ball's going to have to get some roll. 1-2. Breaking ball. Fouled off again. This time a little bit softer contact. Same side, first base side. 1-2 is still the count on the Giants catcher. And he's going to foul another one off. He's being pesky. 1-2. Still the count.
He's been hanging around with Hedgeka so far, and early in this game, you've seen Hedgeka's pitch count continue to rise. Most of these batters aren't getting their Hedgeka's conventional 3 strikes and out stuff.
And Bitzenhofer again fouling one away. So I think Hedgeka might have to come in here, see if he can get that fastball in on the hands as those breaking balls away are just being fought off. Bitzenhofer up on the plate. He's going to try and go up and away this time, and Bitzenhofer has a good eye there to take it. And they'll even count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Hedgeka continually trying to go away. Fastball in might get a nice weak contact. There's a fastball in and another foul ball. Bitzenhofer able to chop it down the third base side over towards the Dodger dugout.
This has been a really good battle between Hedgeka and Bitzenhofer. Like you said, Hedgeka really trying to work that breaking ball outside to throw him off balance. Bitzenhofer's been able to fight it off. He gets one in on the hands, and he's still able to maintain contact and pull it down the third base line.
And Hedgeka takes a lot off. Where'd that miss? And now Bitzenhofer's begging for the "it touched my shirt" call. And the umpire said, "You have a bat, hit the ball, young man."
Like you said, he really dialed that one back.
And now there's a foul ball, and Bitzenhofer's going to yell at the umpire because he didn't let him go down to first on the last one. He fouls this one off his foot, and he is absolutely feeling it. Hands on knees right here in the trainer for the Dodgers coming out. Trainer provided by Pivot Physical Therapy. Mike Hassett is the trainer here for the Dodgers, and only the home team has a trainer. That's part of the rules in the Cal Ripken League. They must provide a trainer. The home team must. So they have to be the trainer for both teams. However, the trainer for the home team can only do like the stretching work and stuff like that for the home team. The like emergencies and stuff like this, they're allowed to do for the other team. So it's just Cal Ripken League rules. The home team provides the trainer. As I said, Pivot Physical Therapy, providing the trainers for today's game. And now Bitzenhofer will see another pitch, and he'll swing and miss at this one. And 1-2-3, albeit probably a longer 1-2-3 than your typical 1-2-3 inning, but Bitzenhofer proved to be pesky. Hedgka's able to get out of it. No, get him out. He wasn't in much of a jam, but he's able to get him out after a very pesky at bat by Bitzenhofer. And the Dodgers coming to bat in the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 Dodgers. Or, excuse me, jeez. 2-0 Giants. Dodgers coming up. This is Dodgers baseball. Rob Stadnick alongside Joey White back at Joe Cannon Stadium. The Dodgers trailing 2-0 as they come to bat in the bottom half of the sixth inning. Alex Wolanski will stand in. Wolanski making the start after starting Game 2 on Saturday. Talked to him between games Saturday and asked about the turf versus the dirt. Just like you'd imagine most catchers too, he enjoys the turf more than the dirt. He takes a fastball up above the letters for ball one. Just like Hedgka says, the nice true hops. Wolanski way out in front. 1-1 strike. So the ball won't hop over your shoulder typically like it might if it hits a rut here in the dirt. So prefers playing on turf. His home field at Eastern Michigan is a turf field. As Klitzis will step off and Wolanski will step out before this 1-1 delivery.
Yeah, a lot of guys who play up north, they're going to see a lot more turf fields than opposed to guys in the south where you don't have to worry about keeping it up in the winter. You're going to see a lot more grass fields.
Yeah, a lot of Bermuda grass down there in the south, really fast infields. Not like the infield we have here that's super slow. See, 2-1 swung on and missed by Wolanski. 2 strikes on the Dodger catcher. Wolanski playing in his 9th game with the Dodgers. Struggling at the dish. Just 2 hits and 23 at bats. The junior from Eastern Michigan. 2-2. Out ahead of that, but he's able to get a piece of it. Oh, call it fair. No, he's not running. Never mind. It's foul. Ball bouncing back out into the field of play. Keeping the count of 2 strikes.
Wolanski, a great defensive catcher, though. One game this season had 4 putouts, including one that ended the game in the bottom of the 9th inning.
As the 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. Wolanski down on strikes. That is the 3rd strikeout for Klitzis. fourth, excuse me, as he struck out Seal to end the second.
From New Mexico State University, number 13, David Bellamy.
As David Bellamy will stand in to get his first turn at Alex Klitzis. Giants already back to the top of their order. The Dodgers finally just now getting to their ninth batter. I mean, it's just the third inning. It's early on in the ball game, but when you see the other team already starting to get to the top of their order, you kind of get envious. You want to be there as well. First delivery, catching the inside corner to Bellamy, and a breaking ball missed the outside to Bellamy. So not even the count of the ball on a strike. And a fastball is going to miss the inside corner, and Bitzenhofer trying to get that call.
And to your point on that, after the Joey Ortiz single that started out the game, Klitzis has really dialed himself in, recording 7 straight outs.
2-1 pitch. Hard line drive down the right field line. I think that's a foul ball. It kind of looked foul, but then the umpires, I don't think the umpire saw it right away because he had to dodge it first. And then he turned. It took him a second to make the call, and then he had like a really weird motion where he put like 2 hands out in front of him. I couldn't tell if he was pointing in fair. Usually you get the big wide arm spread, fair foul. But he was just kind of like he was shoving his younger brother into the pool, like kind of motion. It was kind of a weird foul ball call.
And no disagreement from the Dodgers first base coach on that one. Seemed to be the right call.
2-2 pitch. That's in the dirt, and good hold there by Bellamy. That'll run the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, not a lot of walks surrendered by Klitzis. Bellamy just 5 walks in 64 at-bats this season. 3-2 pitch. Line drive through the hole on the right side, and that's a base hit, the second hit of the game. And thank you, Joey White, for the bit of jinx job that you did there. He's retired 7 in a row. Not anymore, as Bellamy breaks that up. And Joey Ortiz standing to the plate. So the first batter, the 9th batter get hits, as that other batter that got a hit, Joey Ortiz, now coming to the plate.
Yeah, one of the guys on this team back up on around the 300 mark again, was below that before his first at-bat where he hit that single up the middle.
As a fastball will catch the inside corner for a strike. Now, Joey, while he's been one of the more consistent hitters, just one multi-hit game out of the last handful of games. The ball in the dirt, and Bellamy's off. He kind of stumbled. The throw down to second is high, and Bellamy gets in on the wild pitch as he initially took off, then thought he would stop, then stumbled, and then continued to go, and the Bitzenhofer throw is high. So reaching second base on the wild pitch is Bellamy. So runner in scoring position for Ortiz. As I was saying for Ortiz, started off the season well. 7 multi-hit games in the first 16 games. Since then, just 1. Since then. So he's getting a lot of hits, but he's not getting multiple hits. So looking to do that here, obviously, as he's now got a runner in scoring position and 1 away, and that's a breaking ball in there for a strike. 1 and 2 now to Joey Ortiz. Singled up the middle as last time. As we said, second on the team in RBIs with 16. Bellamy at second. Chopper towards short. Causa up with it. He'll throw across the diamond and just in time to get Ortiz. Ortiz quickly moving down that line but unable to beat the throw. It's now 2 away, and Nick Ortega will come to the plate.
Now batting, left fielder from Creighton University.
Yeah, unfortunately, that is 2 outs with David Bellamy at third base. 1 out would make him eligible to score on a sac fly. Ortega's going to have to put something in play here to drive home a run.
Yeah, with somebody with pretty good control out there on a mound and Alex Klitzis, wild pitches are few and far between. So we need a hit for that to happen, although almost getting the wild pitch there is Bitzenhofer diving well out into the left-hand batter's box to keep that ball from getting the backstop and the Dodgers to get their first run of the game.
Don't speak too soon, Rob.
I'll keep saying it. Swing and a miss by Ortega there, even encountered a ball and a strike. I'll keep talking about it. And the 1-1 in the dirt, another block by Bitzenhofer. Trying to find his wild pitch numbers on the season. Unfortunately, on the player page, they do not have it. Let me go back to the team page. See if they've got wild pitch numbers. The foul ball back here into the screen. Expanded pitch stat. That's sometimes one of the things with the Cal Ripken site that you don't really like. Okay, here's your wild pitch numbers for Klitzis, excuse me. 5 wild pitches on the season. So he's got the most wild pitches, tied for the most wild pitches for the Giants. So it isn't out of the realm of possibility. Only 2 walks, but 5 wild pitches. That's not something typically when you see a guy with just 2 walks, they wouldn't have very many wild pitches. Looping liner towards third. Right there is Ramalia to make the catch. Ortega didn't hit that one hard enough to get it past the third baseman. And yet again, the Dodgers leave a runner stranded 90 feet away. That'll do it for the Dodgers in the third. We're going to head to the 4th inning. I'm going to hand things over to Joey White to take you for the next 3 innings. This is Dodgers baseball.
Why don't we reverse roles here from Joe Cannon Stadium? Rod Stadnick's going to take the color commentary. I'm Joey White. Going to do your play-by-play here for the next 3 innings. Score is currently in the top of the 4th inning. Gaithersburg Giants leading the Baltimore Dodgers 2-0. Josh Hedgeka so far in this game seen a little bit of trouble, had a rough second inning, gave up 2 singles and a double that drove home 2 runs, made quick work of the Giants in the top of the 3rd, had a 1-2-3 inning. And that first pitch to Mark Fraser was lined right back to Josh Hedgeka, able to get it over his head, field it cleanly to Shane Coker, and that's going to be the first out of the inning. Score that one a 1-3 ground out. And that's going to bring up number 33, Stephen Williams, the left fielder for the Giants in this game. Last time he was up, he came home as one of the runners, had a single and an RBI in the 2nd inning. First pitch to the lefty is chopped over to the second baseman, Joey Ortiz. 2 pitches, 2 outs there as he flips that one over to Shane Coker for the 2nd out of the inning.
Now batting, first baseman from Coastal Carolina University.
So the Submariner getting 2 quick ground ball outs, puts himself in position to get out of this inning unscathed. He's going to have to get through Dax Roper, the first baseman for the Giants. Last time reached on an error by the 3rd baseman, Zach Seal. And the Submariner is going to throw the first one across the heart of the plate for a strike. 0-1 the count. Hedgeka pitches off the first base side of the rubber. Still looks like it's coming in on right-handers, and the next pitch will go again right over the heart of the plate with a fastball. Puts Roper down in the count 0-2, making quick work of the Giants through the heart of the order. Roper sets the hit, and he hits that one hard right past the glove of Austin James out into left field. That's going to be fielded by Nick Ortega and brought back into the infield. Roper's going to reach on that one. A hard hit. Hard for James to make the play.
Now batting.
They're going to rule that a single here from the Joe.
From Coastal Carolina University.
Yeah, a hard hit ball there.
Cam Romali.
And not a lot of time for James, just a one hopper. And it's just really, you're really at the mercy of that type of hop. You hope for the nice hop. That one hopped up high. Not much you could do.
And now Hedgka faces the right-handed hitting Cam Romali, the third baseman for the Giants today. First pitch, it comes in for a strike. So there's one on for Romali, who last time had a single and an RBI, was then picked off at first base as Josh Hedgka goes and checks on Roper, the base runner. Next pitch is fouled back out of play behind the bleachers. Puts the count at 0-2. So Hedgka again working the count in his favor quickly. Wasn't able to get Roper out last time.
Yeah, Roper with that attempted sacrifice that Wolanski had to go down the line to pick up and ended up throwing it away. As I said in the booth, we're giving him a single, so we think it probably should be called.
Next pitch from Hedgka's high and outside. It's going to put the count at 1-2. Yeah, my apologies, a little bit of a scorekeeping error there. Runner on first, 2 outs. Hedgka goes down below, and that one's popped out behind the field of play. Another foul ball keeps the count at 1-2. Giants hitters been able to choke up during this game, protect the plate with 2 strikes. We saw that earlier with J.P. Bitzenhofer, who had a very long at-bat before striking out. Hedgka looking to do the same here. We do the 1-2 again, and that one is hit out in the left field. Ortega's going to get right underneath that. Not very hard hit, and that's going to be the third out of the inning. Hedgka gives up a single, but still pretty quick work. When we come back, the Baltimore Dodgers are going to try to cut into this Giants lead. So stay tuned. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Bottom of the fourth inning here at Joe Cannon Stadium, and Brandon McElwain takes the batter's box. The Giants currently leading the Dodgers 2-0, as McElwain's going to try to cut back into this lead. Last time he was up to bat, McElwain hit a fly ball out to center fielder Brown, the DH in today's game, as Klitzis gets ready to deliver. Working out of the windup, steps back and takes a timeout. And McElwain at the dish during the doubleheader, especially in the first game, pretty prolific. Had 3 RBIs, a single and a double, brought home 3 runs. Also made a couple of great plays in right field. You're not going to be able to see that today. As finally the first pitch is outside, actually touches the plate for a strike.
But if you check out the YouTube channel for the Baltimore Dodgers, you may be watching on it already. Check out the Baltimore Dodgers YouTube channel. You can check out those plays.
A couple really nice athletic efforts from the two-sport athlete. Next pitch is in for a ball. played quarterback for University of South Carolina and baseball. He's going to try to do the same at Cal Berkeley, although he's going to have to sit out a year of football. Klitzis bounces that one into the dirt, puts the count at 2-1. And McElwain in the second game of that doubleheader came up a little lame on his right hamstring as he was trying to make the move from first to third, had to be pulled for a pinch runner. And he takes that one into the glove of catcher J.P. Bitzenhofer for another strike, now count at 2-2.
Yeah, McElwain fooled a little bit there. He looked to be way out in front.
And the next one is going to be called on the outside corner for a strike. Brandon McElwain not too happy with that. Gets caught looking for another strikeout for Alex Klitzis.
Yeah, that pitch looked to be a little bit off the outside corner. Unfortunately, Cal Ripken League, even in the majors, those outside corners can be a little iffy. And that one definitely looked to be a little bit off, maybe only a few inches, 2-3 inches. But obviously, if you're a hitter, you don't like it when any part of the ball is off the plate and it gets called a strike.
And that's going to bring up the first baseman from Creighton, Shane Coker, for the Baltimore Dodgers. Last time Coker was up, flew out to left field. First pitch is in for a ball. He sees the second one from Klitzis, and that one's going to be over the plate for a strike. Coker, a very welcome addition to the team during this season, had a little bit of trouble producing out of the first base spot. He came right in, has gotten a multitude of hits, including a very interesting bunt in the first game of the doubleheader, as the next pitch goes on the outside corner for a strike. Coker actually currently on a 9-game hitting streak since returning to the Baltimore Dodgers this season. He's trying to get another one here, make it double digits. The pitch from Klitzis, a breaking ball down low, is going to miss. Evens the count up at 2-2.
Yeah, the only game he didn't record a hit was the very first game with the team back on June 22nd. He got hits in both games of that doubleheader to extend that streak to 9.
Coker, like I said, joined this team late. Is accompanied by a pair of teammates, though, from Creighton, Nick Ortega, left fielder, and a reliever, John Sikowski, as the next pitch from Klitzis is down low, and that puts the count full. Coker, a member of the Baltimore Dodgers team last season. Ortega and Sikowski were not. He said he didn't recruit them over here, although he's happy to see some familiar faces.
Yeah, Bryce Only, his teammate from Creighton. Wow, unbelievable, terrible strike call. That pitch 6 inches off the outside. That is not a good call by the home plate umpire.
And Bitzenhofer held it out there for the home plate umpire to see. It looked to be off the plate, not touching any of the back, practically in the left-handed batter's box, but no matter, it's called a strikeout no matter what way you want to look at it. And that brings up the Dodgers shortstop, Austin James, with 2 out. 2 very controversial outs. As that pitch from Klitzis called outside, well outside. That one seemed to be an easy enough call.
And look down at the third base coaching box. Derek Brown not with a pleasant face on right now. See, pretty sure his players got shafted on 2 consecutive strikeouts.
A breaking ball from Klitzis gets James swinging through. He misses. Puts the count at 1-1. Klitzis again out of the windup. He fires that one in. That bounces into the glove of Bitzenhofer again. Count 2-1. James, currently the RBI leader for this Baltimore Dodgers team. Averages dropped down a little bit, hitting .275, but has 22 RBIs on the season. Top 5 in the Cal Ripken League in that category. As that one is high and inside to James. Puts the count at 3-1. Good hitters count for the Dodgers shortstop. Had some very solid contact out into right field earlier. That was caught out. And that one goes over the plate. James thought that one missed. He was halfway to dropping his bat, moving over to first. Has to come back in and see the 3-2 pitch.
Yeah, that one caught a lot of the plate. I think his complaint is he thought it might have been a little bit low. Can't tell high and low from where we're sitting, but definitely over the plate.
And the 3-2 pitch is low and outside. That's going to put one on here for the Dodgers. James works a walk. And now with 2 outs, the Dodgers are going to turn to center fielder Jaron Shelby. He tried to move James around the diamond.
That's just the third walk of the season by Klitzis, just the first walk drawn by the Dodgers here today.
As Klitzis checks on James over on first. As we've already mentioned, Shelby struggled so far this season, a guy coming out of the State College of Florida that they had high hopes for. As that pitch is hit hard out into left field, but moving back and getting it is Steven Williams. He makes the catch, and that's going to do it here from the bottom half of the fourth inning. Dodgers had a solid piece of contact there, trying to get production, unable to do so. We're going to move into the top half of the fifth inning as Hedge is going to try to sustain only a 2-run disadvantage. So stay tuned. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball.
Number 13, Jordan Whisper.
Back now in the top half of the fifth inning, Dodgers currently down 2-0 to the Gaithersburg Giants as the sun is beginning to set out here in Hanover, Maryland. And Jordan Westberg, the second baseman for the Giants, up to bat. Last time he was at the plate, was caught looking on a Hedgka pitch, struck him out. The first offer to him high for a ball. Hedgka working quickly, and that one is roped hard into left, but Ortega gets right underneath it. That's going to be the first out of the inning on 2 pitches. Another solid piece of contact, just right to the Dodgers left fielder.
Yeah, Ortega there, it wasn't exactly a very smooth path to the ball. It was kind of like zigzag, kind of like an 8-bit video game where you can't go diagonal, you can only get, or like a rook in chess, you can only go straight and to the side. It's kind of how the path he took.
The first pitch to the shortstop, Patrick Causa, outside, but caught the corner. According to home plate umpire, that's going to be a strike.
I was actually going to say it. That pitch was just as far offside. The only difference, that's not strike 3. I mean, it puts you in a bad disadvantage, but strike 3 is the end of it.
Another pitch around the same spot on that outside corner goes for a strike. So the home plate umpire at least being equal to both sides, giving them that outside corner strike. Next pitch, though, a fastball way outside. That's going to put the count at 1-2. Hedgka working quickly. He bounces that one into the dirt, leaving almost no time for commentary. He's trying to get these batters out as quickly as possible.
Yeah, Hedgka, really quick worker. Of course, after he bounces that one, he wants to take his time to think about it a little bit and take a little walk out behind the rubber out there and, set himself back up.
He's back on the mound. He's going to fire this one in. And that one's going to be outside as he draws the full count walk, and that seems to be a little bit inconsistent. That one looked to have caught the outside part of the plate, but no, it puts Causa on base with a walk.
If not, it was closer than the pitch called a strike on Shane Coker, unless maybe, again, unless it was low. Side to side, that looked to be closer. Like I said, that was more akin to the strikeout to McElwain, which was maybe an inch or two off the plate, versus the strikeout to Coker, which was much further outside.
And we're going to loop back up to the top of the order here for the Gaithersburg Giants as Ryan Brown takes the batter's box. He sees a ball, then gets a strike called on the outside corner again. Brown 0 for 2 on the day. Caught looking on a strikeout in the first, and then in the third grounded into a 5-3 ground out. As Hetchka goes and checks on the shortstop, Causa on first base. He's set to deliver again. He drops down and fires. And that one's going to be low for a ball. 2-1 the count. Hetchka, affectionately recognized by his catcher Wolanski in a post-game interview as a bulldog, really works hard out there on the mound. As Brown swings all the way through that one, evens the count up at 2-2. But Hetchka, a guy who is majority a reliever for Johns Hopkins this season. The longest outing he had in the spring was 5 innings. He's gone 8 2 times this summer for the Dodgers. That's a solid piece of contact out in the left center field. Jaron Shelby is able to run underneath that one right before the warning track. And that's going to be the second out of the inning as Causa has to run back to first base.
Yeah, thank goodness for Joe Cannon Stadium. And that's a home run at Josh's home ballpark as that ball out there towards the 380 sign out in left center. Center field is just 396 at Johns Hopkins, so that ball definitely getting out in left center. A lot of room here in the outfield at Joe Cannon, and Jaron Shelby able to get back and make that catch.
4-10 out to dead center field here in Hanover, Maryland as Trace Busey gets up to the plate. Runner goes on the pitch, and Alex Wolanski gets him out, gets the tag applied by James. That's going to end the inning before Busey can even get a chance to swing through. Dodgers get through the top half of the fifth inning without giving up a run. When we come back in the bottom half of the fifth.
No, I just wanted to make a quick comment on that play. Great job there by James. He actually caught that ball and was able to shield the runner from the base. The throw maybe not getting there in time, but James, a great play there to keep the runner from being able to get to second base and making that tag.
A solid defensive effort from the Baltimore Dodgers. When we come back, they're going to try to get some runs, finally put some digits in the run column. So stay tuned. You're listening to Baltimore Dodger Baseball. Buy You a Drank comes over the loudspeakers here in Joe Cannon Stadium as Zach Seal takes the batter's box for the Baltimore Dodgers, currently down 2-0 in the bottom half of the fifth. Looking to get some runs on the board. First pitch from Klitzis, the Giants hurler, is outside and low for a ball. 1-0. Next pitch hit right past Klitzis and is into the glove of the shortstop, Causa. Able to turn around, make a nice play, and that one's going to be called out. Zach Seal has to jog back into the Dodgers dugout.
You have to tip your hat right there to Causa as, one, a little bit of bad luck as the ball hits the mound, slows it down a little bit, but then the ball hit the lip, so it didn't get the hop, and it actually looked like it kicked back towards where Causa was coming from. He was able to stick with that to pick the ball up even. I thought there was no way that was going to happen. He just made the play. Big play there for the Giants.
Excellent defensive effort by Causa. As for the Dodgers, that's going to bring up catcher Alex Wolanski, who last time struck out swinging. Going to try to make contact here as that pitch touches what the home plate umpire is calling the outside corner. Puts the count at 0-2.
Yeah, it's time for the hitters to start recognizing where that outside corner is. Obviously, we can complain about it as much as we want because we don't have to hit it, but the players are going to have to realize it and start going out there after them.
Adjustment is the name of the game as Klitzis fires a breaking ball in. Bitzenhofer, the catcher, trying to paint the outside corner, unable to do so on that one. Seemed to be a little bit outside.
Not going to lie, I might have thrown my headset at the home plate umpire if he called that one a strike. That one was way outside.
Although on the next pitch, Wolanski swinging through a gun, unable to connect for his second strikeout of the day. They're going to ring him up. That's going to make it 2 outs in the bottom half of the 5th inning. And the 9-hole hitter, David Bellamy, up to bat, one of the 2 guys on this Dodger team so far who've reached base with a hit. He had a single in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, trying to work his magic again. The lefty facing the righty Klitzis. And the first pitch is going to be low and outside for a ball.
Yeah, and if you can get Bellamy on here, obviously good speed out there, and getting him into scoring position would be big.
He pulls that one, a chopper down the first base line, goes out of play, and that's going to be a foul ball, putting the count at 1-1. Bellamy from New Mexico State, teammates, he's the second baseman during the year. And he hits that one, kind of blooped over to the shortstop, Causa, who has to make a quick play of it. Dax Roper, the first baseman, has to make a stretch and makes a really nice pick on that one to get Bellamy out. 3 up, 3 down for Alex Klitzis, the pitcher for the Giants. Going to do it here from the 5th inning. We come back in the top of the 6th. Josh Hedgka trying to maintain only a 2-run deficit for the Dodgers, so stay tuned. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Gaithersburg Giants back at the bat here in the top half of the 6th inning. Dodgers currently down 2-0. Josh Hedgka got touched up a little bit in the 2nd, got 2 runs on the board. He's been pretty good since then, only allowing 1 hit and a walk. As the first pitch to Busey is high and outside for a ball. Hedgka still working off of that end of the first base rubber as he steps off here for a quick timeout. Busey so far in this game reached on a walk in the 1st and then flew out to left in the 3rd. As he pulls that one hard down the first base line, that's actually going to hit a tree and carry him back into play. Caught in the bullpen by the bullpen catcher, Trey Martinez. A nice little web gem there out down the first base side.
Call him out. So we didn't kickball. The ball bounces back. It's in play. You're out.
Rules a little different here as the count is 1-1, and that pitch catches the inside corner. Hedgka now ahead in the count 1-2. And kickball and baseball, a few different rules. Haven't played a good game of kickball in a long time, now that I think of it. Probably been 10 years.
I played kickball for Play Baltimore not too long ago. It was not really fitting for the kind of ball I like to play.
Next pitch from Hedgka is popped right back up into the fence that thankfully protects us here in the broadcast booth. Puts the count now 1-2.
Yeah, I play Baltimore, not exactly. I like to be competitive when I play. It was a real fun league, and I'm fine with being fun, but it was a little bit too much. Nobody knows what they're doing. There's beer out on the field.
As the next pitch from Hedgka is chopped over to the first baseman, Shane Coker, is able to field it cleanly, step on the bag for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, it's kind of your definition of a social league there. But back to baseball, Josh Hedgka getting some more soft contact there by Busey. And warming up down the right side is number 47, Kevin Graff from Texas State.
And it's Josh Hedgka on the next batter. First pitch hits the catcher, J.P. Bitzenhofer. Doesn't exactly try to get out of the way of that one, but it does plunk him in the back, and he goes down to first base with a hit by pitch.
He was asking the umpire to get the hit by pitch last inning or last time up. Now he actually gets a hit by pitch. So, he asked for it, he got it, so you can't complain. Takes his base. He didn't complain, just went straight down there. And a lot of these guys, especially when they see breaking balls in, they'll try and get hit by a pitch just because it's much easier to get on base that way. We saw Alex Wolanski, our catcher, last year get hit 4 times in a game. Actually was second on the team with hit by pitch. It was a lot. It was in the 20s. Shane Coker actually at first was in first place. Actually had more. The throw to first. Wow. Close.
Yeah, nice pickoff attempt there by Josh Hedgka. Unable to get Bitzenhofer out at first. Hedgka, again, a reliever who's seen more of a starting role this summer as the next pitch is fouled out of play, putting the count at 0-1. But Klitzis, on the other hand, he's a reliever and pretty much primarily a reliever. 5 innings is a lot of work for him, so the Giants are going to try to get him out of there. The 0-1 pitch is swung all the way through by Mark Fraser, the DH, putting the count at 0-2. Fraser earlier in this game started off the second inning with a towering shot over the head of the center fielder, Jaron Shelby. He ended up coming home for an RBI, one of the 2 runs that they scored. As Josh Hedgka gets a pitch on the outside corner, which has been called the same all night, he gets the caught-looking strikeout of the power-hitting Fraser. 2 out in this inning.
Yeah, again, that's the call that he didn't get against Causa. That's the call that he didn't get against Causa last inning, the pitch an inch or 2 off the outside corner, but the Giants hitters got to know that it's going both ways at this point. Just like the Dodgers hitters have to know that outside corner is wide.
Stephen Williams now up for the Gaithersburg Giants. He takes the first pitch on the outside part of the plate for a strike. Williams 1 for 2 on the game, grounded out to second in the 4th, but in the second inning had a single and came all the way home on an error by Zach Seal. Oh, pardon me, that was by Alex Wolanski that he came all the way home. As Hedgka goes and checks on Bitzenhofer again. Count 0-1 now to Stephen Williams. A lot more base runners on this game, in this game for Hedgka than he's normally accustomed to, as that one is fought off the hands of Williams and back into the metal bleachers. You can hear it dropping down the stairs, puts the count at 0-2. Hedgka now moving a little bit slower, recognizing that he's got Bitzenhofer out there on first, needs to check on him from time to time. He gets the signs from his catcher, Wolanski, who quickly calls time. Floodlights on here in Joe Cannon Stadium as the sun is slowly setting the sky, turning a nice color of pink, and that one's high and inside from Hedgka. Puts the count at 1-2.
Still no action for the Dodgers in their bullpen. Hedgka, like you said, he looks like he's slowing a little bit, so we might be seeing some movement shortly.
That pitch over the heart of the plate, but low. Puts the count at 2-2. 2 out here. Deuces are wild in the top half of the 6th. His Hedgka's trying to get the final out of the inning. He drops down low, and that one is a hard fly ball hit right at the center fielder, Jaron Shelby, who makes the easy catch. That's going to do it here from the top half of the 6th. Hedgka hits a batter, but other than that, makes quick work of the Giants' batting order. We're going to now move to the bottom half of the 6th, where the Dodgers need to get a run on the board. Starting to get late in the game here, so stay tuned. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. Coming at you middle of the 6th. Dodgers getting ready to try to bat around, but not before the Gaithersburg Giants make a pitching change. They go to number 47, Kevin Graff. Alexander Klitzis' night is done. Went 5 innings of work. But this is a guy on the mound for the Giants who's appeared in 8 games but hasn't seen a whole lot of innings.
No, just 10 2/3 innings for Kevin Graff. This is his 9th appearance for the Giants, so doesn't typically see a ton of innings. His longest outing was in a loss to the T-Bolts on June the 17th. He went 3, and in that game he actually surrendered, and we see why he doesn't go very many innings. Surrendered 2 runs on 3 hits, struck out 2, and he faced 13 batters. Yeah, that'll happen when you go when you go more innings and give up some hits. So he comes in. He's usually about a 1-inning pitcher. Since that 3-inning outing, he's pitched in 6 games, no more than 1 inning in each game. So he's sorry about that. So he's pitched in 6 games, no more than 1 inning. So most likely you'll see him for just 1, because it might be guys start to figure him out.
A Texas State teammate of Alex Klitzis takes the mound, the lefty. He's going to start with the top of the order for the Baltimore Dodgers. He'll see Joey Ortiz, who's 1 for 2 on the day. Ortiz with the first hit of the game, first batter of the game in the first inning. As the catcher J.P. Bitzenhofer goes out to talk to Kevin Graff, quickly making sure that they're on the same page before they face possibly the best hitter in this Dodgers lineup. As you mentioned, he's only had 1 multi-hit game in the past few, looking to make that a second here as the first pitch from Kevin Graff is on the outside. Looked to be in that strike zone for the home plate umpire, was outside, called a ball.
I have no idea where the strike zone is right now. Unless he's reining it in, that pitch was called a strike half of the times at least.
And that one, a breaking ball, goes over the plate, makes the count 1-1. And we were mentioning to each other during one of the breaks that hitters are going to have to become more aggressive. The umpire is giving that call on the outside, although it seems to be a little bit inconsistent. That one fired over the plate but low, puts the count at 2-1.
It had to be low. That pitch caught the outer half. But that's the worst thing an umpire can be, is inconsistent. You can give a wide strike zone as long as you call it the same every single time.
Count now at 2-1 for the second baseman, Ortiz. Graff working out of the stretch, reaches back and fires. And that one also outside. That one called a ball. That one seemed to be in the left-handed batter's box. Puts the count at 3-1. Good hitters count for Ortiz.
Yeah, those pitches, Bitzenhofer's really trying hard to get those calls. So maybe those ones that we've seen, the umpire has been fooled a couple times. Perhaps that's what we're seeing.
And now that one does get the outside corner. That puts the count at full.
Yeah, no argument from Ortiz. He saw the pitch and just stepped back out of the batter's box. Not a pitch there that you really want to go after 3-1, as that's probably a weak ground ball to the right side.
Full count now for Graff. He fires into Ortiz, who fouls that one out down the first base side, out the field of play. Staying alive. Much like the Bee Gees, much like our own Rob Stanek doing his best impression. We're going to do it again, a full count here to Ortiz, and that one's going to be low. Good eye from Ortiz, draws the walk, puts one on.
Yep.
Not a great start for the lefty Graff.
Yeah, big walk there for the Dodgers. That brings the tying run to the plate. As you said, we're getting late in the game as Ortiz now on base with 13 stolen bases on the season. We already had him steal one today. We saw a couple over at Johns Hopkins as well. Dodgers, not a lot of steals against Gaithersburg this year. Up until today, just the one in 2 attempts. Now a lefty, it's going to be a little harder to steal on.
Up now for the Dodgers is Nick Ortega, who squares around the bunt, pulls it back, though. 1-0 the count.
Looks like Derek Brown maybe showing some confidence in his batting order that they're going to get a couple more runs here, as Ortega looking to give himself up here with nobody away in the 6th.
Ortiz not with a big lead, although Graff seems concerned with him, fires over to his first baseman, Dax Roper.
I'll be honest, I think that was to check to see if Ortega was still planning to square to bunt. Sometimes you'll throw over hoping that the batter will show his hand a little bit early.
Ortega squares around the bunt, and that one goes down the first base line. In between a little bit, had to be fielded by the pitcher, Kevin Graff. Bare hand throw over, but Ortega gets in safe on that one. A miscommunication down on the first base line puts Ortega on, as well as Ortiz on second.
Yeah, good bunt there by Ortega as he pushed that towards first, in between the pitcher and the first baseman, Roper. And Graff and Roper not having good communication, kind of a hesitation between both guys. Roper ends up going back to the bag. Graff tries to underhand flip it to him, and it's going to be ruled a hit for Ortega. Ortega put runners at first and second with Brandon McElwain coming to the plate. And we could see another bunt here by McElwain.
McElwain, although been hampered by the hamstring so far this season. He does square around to bunt. First baseman Roper coming in. That one's going to be a strike. McElwain had a rough day at the dish. Disagreed with a multitude of calls every time he's been at bat.
Yeah, that a breaking ball. It was close. Not a good pitch to bunt. Is you want to try and get this bunt down the third base side, make the third baseman field it. So an outside pitch, not easy to bunt there.
Roper charges home on the Graff pitch. That one is bunted foul. Not well executed there by McElwain. Puts the count at 0-2. Very unlikely he's going to try to bunt now.
Yeah, McElwain's going to have to try and get the hit here, but the problem with bunting and being unsuccessful and going 2 straight strikes, now you're down 0-2 before you even get a chance to swing the bat.
McElwain did have 3 RBIs in the doubleheader against the Rockville Express on Saturday, trying to flex that clutch muscle once again. And that one is hit hard to the third baseman, who bobbles it, throws it over to the second baseman, Westberg, to get 1 out. But that's going to put Joey Ortiz on third. Brandon McElwain's going to be safe at first. Runners on the corners with 1 out. And that's going to bring up first baseman Shane Coker, looking to extend his 9-game hitting streak to 10.
As Ramalia making a nice play there. Now the signs being relayed to see what the play is on the double steal. My guess is McElwain's not going anywhere. Bad leg and everything. Probably just a dead duck trying to steal second base. You just let your big lefty Shane Coker here try and drive in that run. All he needs is a fly ball.
First pitch into Coker, a breaking ball which drops in for a strike. Coker, as we've mentioned, Hasn't appeared in a ton of games for the Dodgers this season, this being his 11th, but been very productive in his time with them this summer. As that one, a fastball, goes over the heart of the plate within the strike zone, puts him down 0-2. Ortiz with a lot of speed on third base. A fly ball pretty much anywhere in the outfield would give him a legitimate chance to score. The 0-2 now. Bitzenhofer sets up outside. Graff fires, and that one's just a bit high, just a bit outside.
That's the same pitch that, unless they called it high, that's the same pitch that Coker struck out on his last at-bat. So, again, we're not seeing that strike in this particular inning. So, it's going to be difficult for the players.
Dodgers trying to get some runs on the board. Coker the man to attempt it. 1-2 the count. Graff fires in, and that one is hit hard down into right field. Ortiz is going to come home. Going to keep McElwain on second. Coker stays on first. An RBI single out into right field brings home Ortiz. Halves the lead for the Giants. Scores now 2-1. Baltimore Dodgers are in business.
Yeah, Shane Coker extending that hit streak to 10 games with a ground ball through the right side. 1-2 count, and Coker talking to first base coach Juan Waters about his approach there. Got our usual couple fans coming in from the home 2 suites over to the left center field wall.
And now Austin James gets in the batter's box for the Dodgers. The biggest power threat on this team so far this season. 3 home runs, 22 RBIs. Average has dropped down a little bit, coming in at 275 in this game. First pitch in for a strike. 0-1 the count. 1 out here, 2 on for the Dodgers.
Yeah, I'd like to see Austin James give those folks sitting on the hill behind the left center field wall a souvenir right here.
And that one, a breaking ball that gets that outside corner against righties, puts the count at 0-2.
Put air quotes on that. Gets that outside corner.
And the Dodgers, they definitely are not willing to adjust so far in this game, almost through 6 innings, and that's been called a strike with some relative consistency. Either way, James going to choke up on the bat here, has to protect the plate. James swings through that one, and that's going to be a strikeout. James not able to make any contact on that one. 2 outs now, and that's going to bring up Jaron Shelby.
Well, Jaron Shelby, his last time up, put a pretty good piece on the ball. Got a good piece of it, hit hard out to left. Unfortunately, the left fielder Williams was able to get back and make the play. But hopefully he can do it again and find some grass.
Shelby shows a lot of power in BP. He'd like to use it here, but that one is popped up towards the second baseman, who has to make a pretty easy flip over to Roper. Westberg fields it cleanly, gets the 3rd out of the inning. Coker gets the job done, gets 1 run in for the Dodgers. Still don't have the lead, currently trailing 2-1. That's going to do it here from the 6th inning. When we come back, Rob Stadnick's going to take you the rest of the way. I'm going to stick with you at color commentary. Josh Hedgega going to take the mound once again, trying to hold off the Giants. You're listening to Baltimore Dodgers Baseball.
Welcome back to Joe Cannon Stadium. Rob Stadnick alongside Joey White here for the top of the 7th inning. The Baltimore Dodgers
number 28.
Now trailing by a score of 2-1 after they score 1 run in the bottom half of the 6th. Bright light. Lights coming on here in the booth. Now I can see my face in the window. As Josh Hedgeka out for his 7th inning of work, delivers a breaking ball to Dax Roper that's going to miss up high. 1 ball and no strikes to count. Hard ground ball up the middle. Ortiz knocks it down, picks it up, throws to first. Great stretch there by Coker, and they complete the 4-3 putout. Fantastic job by both Ortiz and Coker.
And not the prettiest fielding play by Ortiz, but does show off some of that speed and that range. And then Coker stretches out for it, shows the athleticism, and that's the first out of the inning.
Cam Ramalia will stand in. Ramalia had that single, had that bunt that we believe should be a single as he takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. A bunt that should be a single that Alex Wolanski threw down past the first baseman, Coker, allowing a run to score. Ramalia fouling one off here, and then he flew out to left back in the 4th. It's down in the count here, no balls and 2 strikes. Ramalia, the majority of the season, has been a pitcher for the Giants. And he fouls another one off, and I'll keep the count right where it's at. Playing in his 13th game, or I should say, I guess hitting in his 13th game. As he fouls another one off, so staying alive here, coming in. Pair of home runs in just 35 at-bats, so has shown the power. He's also struck out 18 times. Average of just 229 coming in. And with, well, it'll be officially an 0 for 2. Fastball in the dirt. Ramalia taking that. It'll be officially be an 0 for 2, so that'll bring the average down a little bit. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the third baseman for Gaithersburg. A little looper out in the right. Coming in hard is Bellamy. He dives and he can't make the catch. And Ramalia on with a, I'm pretty sure that's definitely going to be a hit this time. Ramalia on at first base with 1 away.
And nice effort from Bellamy out in right field. Made the charge. Wasn't hard hit. Kind of just a small pop-up. Almost got underneath it. Unable to do so. That's going to put 1 on, 1 out for the Giants. Trying to get some more runs in.
As Jordan Westberg will come to the plate. Westberg 0 for 2. A strikeout looking back in the 2nd. And a fly ball out to left in the 5th. Hedgeka has done pretty well at the bottom part of this order. Is now a little chopper towards third. Seal up with it. Throw to first. In time to retire the out as Westberg moving the runner over. But now with 2 outs, runner in scoring position for the 9th place hitter, Patrick Causa. Quick look at the important games in the Cal Ripken League. That's all of them. But the big one that the Dodgers are worried about is the game between the Express and the DC Grays. Dodgers taking 2 from the Express over the weekend, vaulting them a couple games ahead of the Express. So we don't really care if they win. We want them to beat the Grays. Grays a half game ahead of the Dodgers, currently leading that game by a score of 6-2. So the Express not doing the Dodgers any favors after the Dodgers did them no favors this weekend. So a bit unfortunate on that end of things. The Alexandria Aces and the Big Train playing. Big Train up 6-0 in that game. Aces have 3 losses on the season. All of their losses have come to the Big Train and the Redbirds. It's like all the wins the Dodgers have come against the Big Train and the Redbirds. All the losses for the Aces have came against the Big Train and the Redbirds. The Redbirds, speaking of, 11-6 over the River Dogs currently in the 7th. And then the T-Bolts up 5-1 over the Braves in the bottom of the 6th. Breaking ball missed the outside corner to Causa. 1 ball and no strikes to count to the Gaithersburg shortstop. Runner at second base and 2 away. Dodgers trailing 2-1, and Hedgeka giving the "my bad" signal to his catcher. I'm pretty sure everybody knew that, but he just wants to be a nice guy and say I'm sorry. The ball was well outside, and Wolanski had to go diving out to make the stop. Causa 0 for 1, flew out to right and walked, and now the pickoff attempt, and unable to get the baseball is Austin James. And here comes Jeff Raberman, maybe. Starts taking a couple steps towards the line. I thought he might come out to ask if that was a balk. As we've seen most of the time, people generally think it's a balk because it looks really weird. But unfortunately, not a great throw from Hedgka, and Austin James unable to hold it as he went sliding and diving into second base. Otherwise, that was another pickoff. 2 balls and no strikes. Little looper out in the center. In comes Shelby. He's not going to get it. Bellamy ends up with it. No, Shelby does. Bellamy missed it, and then Shelby throws it away, and that's going to allow the runner to get to second base. He was off on the throw anyway. Causa driving in a run, making the score 3-2. A little looping, soft hit, fly ball. And runner Causa is going to get the RBI. Move to second base on the throw. Shouldn't be an error against Shelby, as Causa was already on his way to second before the ball got past the catcher. Now Ed Chestnut out to speak with his submariner. To be honest, this has been an unlucky inning. Just an absolutely unlucky inning. Now we've got a pitcher warming up for the Dodgers. I believe it is Jack Chaney warming up for the Dodgers.
Now, as you mentioned, Hedgka hasn't seen a lot of solid contact in this inning. A couple pop flies, a couple loopers that have dropped in the outfield green. He's been fortunate with where they've ended up. That's just kind of the name of the game. Dodgers had a lot of really solid contact that's been hit right to Gaithersburg Giants defenders. That's just been the storyline of this outing.
And I just want to make a quick correction. That is Ryan Bunzy warming up for the Dodgers down in the left field bullpen. At the top of the order, Ryan Brown standing in. He takes a fastball that'll miss inside. Kind of a story we've seen all year for the Dodgers. They get a run, they give one back. They take a lead, they give up the tie the very next inning. It's like they can't hold teams off the board after they score. Ground ball up the middle, Ortiz there. Can he make the play? He does. Good scoop over there by Shane Coker, and that'll retire the side, but not after a couple soft hits. Bring in a run for the Giants. They lead it now 3-1. The Dodgers are going to try and answer as we head to the bottom half of the 7th. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Rob Stadnick alongside Joey White back here for the bottom of the 7th inning with Zach Seal leading off the inning for the Dodgers. Dodgers, they get a run, they give one back, and they're down 2 again, and we're in the final 3. So Dodgers needing to come in, get the bats working. Just 4 hits through 6 in this ball game. Fastball missed the outside corner to Seal. Seal 0 for 2. Ground ball out his last time. That was a pretty nice play by Causa as the ball hit the mound, slowed up a little bit, then hit the lip so it didn't bounce a second time. He was able to get down on it. As Seal swings and misses. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to the Wake Forest first third baseman, corner infielder. He's going to compete for playing time next year over at first base for Wake Forest. Takes one in there for a strike.
Yeah, he's shown work on both sides, like you said, both corners. Interestingly enough, on that first part of the doubleheader, he made the play that ended the game where he ended up losing his glove and had to dive over on first to get the final out.
And the 1-2 is a breaking ball in the dirt. Over at Wake Forest, Gavin Sheets has been the mainstay over at first base. He is going to be leaving for the major leagues, following in the footsteps of his father and Redbirds manager Larry Sheets. And the 2-2. That's in the dirt, and that had to hurt as Bitzenhofer taking that somewhere. Looks like off the leg as he's going to limp around. He's already fouled one off his foot and been hit by a pitch, and now not a good pitch. As a fastball spiked, that had to be 5 feet in front of home plate where he spiked that pitch. And a hop comes up and gets Bitzenhofer.
Yeah, some throwing going on right now in the Giants bullpen. Unfortunately, it's just a football, so they're not too interested in relieving him anytime soon.
3-2 pitch on the way, fouled off and out of play down the first base side. Yeah, we saw the Dodgers players starting to warm up with footballs a few weeks ago. Seen some other teams come in with footballs, and we've seen Graff have difficulty going deeper into ball games. Just 1 inning in most of his ball games. No way! The check down to first base to see if he went, and they say he did. Unbelievable. Zach Seal, Derek Brown cannot believe that call is from... Again, I'm biased, but I do like to call it straight down the middle. That did not look even that close.
Well, one of the things that is kind of one of the unwritten rules of baseball, you don't show up the umpire. No one had made a call yet. Seal was already halfway down the first base line, not literally, more of a hyperbole, but he thought he had the walk, and in a way kind of made the call for the umps who did not enjoy that. I'm not saying that's the reason he was out, but you definitely don't want to give that appearance to the umpires if you know more than him.
And now another little conversation between Derek Brown and the home plate umpire. So Dodgers not happy with the umpires here. I think what set that off is Alex Wolanski had squared to bunt and pulled back, and the home plate umpire called it a strike. So I think he was asking if he said that he offered or if the pitch was in the strike zone. And I don't think he wanted to even answer. We've seen that today. The umpire is not letting the players talk to him at all. There's a swing and a miss by Wolanski here, now down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And I'll tell you what, that's a sign of an umpire that knows he's not doing a great job.
At least in the eyes of everyone else in the field. He thinks he's making the right calls, but he's not being well received, obviously.
Now, usually umpires that is a fastball up here at the letters, umpires that are pretty spot on, they'll have conversations. No, that was there. I'm confident in that. But when you get questioned and you're not sure about it, you don't want to have those conversations. And it's just the way it is in real life as well. As the 1-2 pitch is up, and that's going to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So we've seen it on both sides. The umpire just does not, like, if you want to ask, hey, where was that? Wasn't that a little high? He doesn't even want to hear it. He's not necessarily so sure of it himself. as the 2-2 pitch in the dirt, and that gets away, but it doesn't matter because there's nobody on base. 3 balls and 2 strikes the count now on Wolanski.
Starting to hear a few fireworks pop off here. It is 4th of July coming up tomorrow. So I think
it's just a few hours away. Just 3 hours until a 4th of July celebration around the country. At least on the East Coast, it's that far. And well, where's that pitch? It's a ball. I want to make sure. Wait until the batter gets down to first base.
I think
Ball
it's a
4.
walk.
It's ball 4. He's there. He's at first base. Now we're sure of it.
Now back, right fielder from New Mexico State University, number 13,
So Wolanski still hasn't been able to pick up his 3rd hit this season. Does get himself on base, and Bellamy now at the plate represents the tying run in this game.
Bellamy singled back in the 3rd. We could use another one of those here. He squares the bunt. Now he's got some good speed, and the 3rd baseman, Ramalia, was playing behind the bag at 3rd base, so that was probably going to be a bunt for a base hit type of situation. As we're in the 7th inning, probably don't put Wolanski out at 2nd base with 2 away. Wouldn't be a sacrifice situation, most likely. And he's not bunting here as he takes a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. No balls and 2 strikes to count for Bellamy. And now there is some warming up going down in the bullpen. Looks like I'll have to get a number when we get it in just a second. Runner at first base is Wolanski. He walked. And the delivery to Bellamy and a ball in the dirt. Good block there by Bitzenhofer. And Wolanski is going to head back to the bag. Evan Flood warming up from Long Island University. Long hair down to the shoulders. Left-handed pitcher down in that bullpen. The 1-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. And down on strikes goes Bellamy. And now 2 away, the 2nd strikeout of the inning, 3rd strikeout of the game for Graff.
Hey, Graff working deeper into this game than originally anticipated for the Baltimore Dodgers. He's shown some real moxie out there. He's bounced a couple pitches out in front of the plate, so he has shown some command faltering, but to his credit, he's still out there, and so far has only relinquished the 1 run.
Yeah, a couple of walks in the game as well. Ortiz was one of them. And now a hard-hit ground ball up the middle for a base hit by Ortiz. And that's his 2nd hit of the ball game and a multi-hit game, something we were really looking for Ortiz because it hasn't really happened for him in a while. And that'll put runners at 1st and 2nd with 2 away. And Saturday's hero, Nick Ortega, coming to the plate. A big spot. He singled his last time. See if he can do it again.
So far in this game, Ortega did reach on a single earlier, so he has accumulated a hit. He's seen some success. As the Gaithersburg Giants call timeout, bring the infield in.
Jesse Frawley, the pitching coach for the Giants, coming out to talk to his pitcher and his infield. Not really sure what the infield's part in this whole thing is going to be. It's not like there's runners at the corners where you're wondering about a double steal or anything like that. Ortega with 2 strikes, probably not going to bunt again. That's where he got his hit the last time on the bunt. I mean, he might if he feels like he can get a hit, but you want to straight up single here to score the run. So I'm not really sure what the conversation with the entire infield is, but home plate umpire goes out to break it up, and now coming back behind home plate as Jesse Frawley back to the dugout on the first base side. And we're going to get ready for some play yet again as Ortega will stand in a lefty-righty matchup against Kevin Graff. Runners at 1st and 2nd. As previously mentioned, 2 away. Nick Ortega in a big spot. Takes one right down the middle for strike 1.
Wolanski on 2nd, not known as a guy with a ton of speed, more known for putting out guys with a ton of speed from behind the plate.
Well, he'll be off with contact here, so he's got a good chance at scoring, especially with getting a nice secondary lead and a swing and a miss by Ortega. Ortega with just 7 runs batted in on the season actually has more walks than RBIs. But as we say, a big spot for him. He got a big, important RBI on Saturday in Game 2 of that doubleheader, giving the Dodgers the 3-2 walk-off victory as Graf's going to step off here. Got a no ball and 2-strike count here for Ortega. He wants to make sure he's got everything exactly as he wants it. Runner at first base, Ortiz, not a big lead over there. You're going to want him to get a great jump in case the ball's in the gap. Little looper down the first base line. If that stays fair, it's going to be trouble. And it does not stay fair. As Roper trying to make the catch, can't do so, but the ball ends up about 10 to 15 feet wide of the right field line.
And you start to get excited because we've seen a couple of those kind of bloop fly balls drop into fair territory. Wouldn't be the first time we've seen that today. And so Ortega steps back into the box, down 0-2, looking to make some contact here.
Yeah, we saw Zach Seal have the exact same type of hit on Saturday. 0-2 pitch on the way. In the dirt, good block by Bitzenhofer. Again, another one of those balls spiked in front of home plate. That's just something for me. It's hard to fathom how that happens. I mean, I know I never threw the ball very hard, but just spiking a fastball, that to be that off on a fastball, it should, if it happens once in a while, that's bad enough, but this is the 3rd or 4th time we've seen that happen. That's like, you got to wonder where that control's at is the 1-2. And a breaking ball, and he definitely went around that time, did Ortega. And he's down on strikes, and they'll leave a pair of runners on base, one in scoring position. And that'll do it for the 7th. The Dodgers trail here 3-1 as we head to the 8th. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball.
ball hit a mile in the air, not with a whole lot of distance. Bellamy swoops in and make the catch, get the first out.
And I apologize if you didn't see it, but it was a decent catch out there in right center. I still have not gotten – how many games is it in here? And I still have not gotten the hang of switching the switcher back over between the inning breaks and the actual game footage. Rest assured, 1 out as Bitzenhofer stands in, swings and misses. Bitzenhofer 0 for 2, strikeout in the third, grounded into a double play. And there's that wide corner again as a fastball hits it. No balls and 2 strikes to Bitzenhofer. Oh, 2. Little excuse me, look out type of check swing. Actually gets a piece of it and fouls it off and stays alive. No balls and 2 strikes. I actually saw that earlier in the game when he grounded out into the 6-4-3 double play that he was a bit pesky there at the plate, just fouling off pitch after pitch after pitch.
Yeah, he's been a thorn in the side of Josh Hedgka, although he's only reached base once on being hit by a pitch as he awkwardly swings through that one, tried to pull back, unable to do so, and Hedgka gets another strikeout.
Yeah, that was the exact same swing that we saw when he just fouled one off, but this time unable to make contact. And that's the 5th strikeout of the game for Hedgka as Fraser now coming to the plate. Fraser, the DH, saw some pop back in the first. Thank goodness for 410 center field as he hit it to dead center and got it all the way out to the warning track. That would have been the first home run to dead center I would have seen here at Joe Cannon. It's a fastball missing the inside corner, and now fastball missing the outside corner by Hedgka. Bunzy still warming up. Actually looks like he's done. He's just kind of standing there, glove on hip, ready to come in when it's his turn, and we'll probably see him for the 9th regardless of what happens. And now a ground ball down the third baseline, and Zach Seal can't make the play. It's into left field for a base hit. And I don't know, Seal there seemed a little slow to get over. Maybe he was like contemplating a dive, or I'm not really sure. They're going to call that one a hit for sure. Just seemed like maybe some indecision on Seal as he wasn't sure if he wanted to dive for it or if he wanted to try and get over to backhand it and make the play. So he's not able to get there, and a base hit for Fraser. That's his 2nd hit of the game. That'll bring Steven Williams to the plate. Williams singled back in the 2nd. Grounded out, and he's flown out. Yeah, he hits a hard ground ball to Ortiz. That should do it for the inning. So Ortiz to Coker. And a 4-3 put out. The Dodgers allow a hit. They trail by 2. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Back at Joe Cannon Stadium, Rob Stanek alongside Joey White. We're here for the bottom of the 8th. The Dodgers need 2 in the next 2 innings to get back in this ball game and at least extend it and give themselves a chance to win. And new pitcher into the game for the Giants as Kevin Graff exits after 2 innings. Allows a couple hits and just the 1 run. It's Brandon McElwain to come in to face off against Evan Flood. Flood, another pitcher that doesn't typically go a lot of innings. Of course, he doesn't have to at this point. The majority of his games just 1 inning long. As the first delivery will miss, and I think that caught Bitzenhofer a little bit off guard. So he's going to go out and talk to his pitcher one more time.
And not the best way to start for Flood. Came into it tying up his catcher a little bit awkwardly there as you hear the fireworks continue to go off around Joe Cannon.
Sounds like they're getting closer. It's a breaking ball catching the outside corner for Flood. Flood, most of his games just the 1 inning of work. He did pitch against the Dodgers back on June 5th in that 6-3 victory for Gaithersburg. He only went a third of an inning and picked up the save with a strikeout. However, since then, in 4 of his last 5, he has allowed 7 earned runs. Kind of came back against the T-Bolts on the 29th. The fastball missed the outside corner. 3 ball and 1 strike the count on McElwain. So he's been touched up here recently. ERA shows at 6.54. That gets the outside corner. That'll run the count full 3-2 to McElwain. So Dodgers could potentially get back here if Flood continues to struggle. Giving up 12 hits in his 11 innings of work. It's a swing and a miss by McElwain. And he's down after being ahead in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Final line for Graff was 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 run, walked 2, struck out 4. As Flood now standing in against Shane Coker. No shift on for Coker, not surprising. Little high chopper towards second. Westberg there, he'll make the play. And 2 up, 2 down for the Dodgers. Not putting up much of a fight right now, like they did the last couple innings. As Austin James will come to the plate and trying to get things going for the Dodgers.
Yeah, not an unfamiliar position for this team being down late. They did it on Saturday in the second half of the doubleheader.
That is very true. They were able to come back in the bottom of the 7th innings. The first delivery to Austin James is in the dirt for ball 1. That game they were down 2-1, ended up scoring 2 in the bottom half of that last inning to get the win. 2 runs here would tie it, and that would certainly be a welcome sight. 1-0. Chopped down the third baseline. It's going to roll foul. Couldn't tell. I thought it might have hit his foot. But he took off to first, and ball rolled foul anyway.
James on that one, not necessarily swinging just for contact. He ripped through that one pretty hard, trying to get some extra bases here, something that the Dodgers have yet to do in this game. All of their hits have been singles.
And just 5 hits through 7 2/3 to this point. 1-1. Chopped. That one definitely hit him. So, ball and 2 strikes to Austin James. James, the team's RBI leader. He's not going to get one of those here unless he could find a way to put one out. Came into the game batting .275. It's 0 for 2 on the day, so that's going to drop a little bit as he awaits the 1-2. Here it comes. Breaking ball. That's just going to miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Good eye there by James. That pitch was very close. Two. Swing and a miss at the high fastball. James goes down, and that's going to do it for the Dodgers in the 8th. Second strikeout of the inning by Flood. And the Giants are going to try and add to their lead. The Dodgers are going to try and hold them right where they are. We'll see who comes out to take the mound. As it looks like Bunzy coming out of the dugout. And we'll be back for the 9th. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Back at Joe Cannon Stadium, we're here for the 9th inning of play as Ryan Bunzy is going to take his place on the mound for the Baltimore Dodgers. And he's going to try and hold the Gaithersburg Giants right where they are. As unfortunately, that's ahead of the Dodgers, and they don't want to get behind any more than they already are. Bunzy making his 4th appearance for Baltimore this summer. 2 of his other appearances were starts for the Dodgers. He's going to deliver a fastball that's up and in to Dax Roper. Hedgeke's day is done. He went 8 innings, gave up 3 runs, 2 were earned on 7 hits, walked 2, and hit a batter, and he also struck out 5. Bunzy down the count, 2 balls and no strikes to Dax Roper. Bunzy, a big right-handed thrower, will come set, pitching out of the set, and fire back to the backstop, getting past Alex Wilansky, and not what you want to do when you come out of the bullpen. Is go down 3 balls and no strikes to the first batter you face. Roper, 1 for 3, a single, reached on an error. And now he reaches on a walk. He'll remain 1 for 3 and a 4-pitch walk for Bunzy.
Now batting.
And that'll bring Cam Ramalia up.
Number 25, Cam Ramalia.
Oh, 4 pitches and a visit to the mound.
You want to hope that Bunzy's just a little bit juiced up to be entering the game, not anything with his control. He's been a starter for this team, has had some trouble, but should be able to come out of the bullpen and get 3 outs for the Dodgers. As that's pitching coach Ed Chestnut comes out and have a conversation with Bunzy, who's looking to just get out of the inning here, keep the Dodgers within striking distance.
Yeah, Bunzy 11 1/3 innings so far this season in his 3 appearances to this point. 8 walks in those 11 1/3 innings. So the walks to innings pitch ratio not that great. It was also a surrendered 12 hits. His whip on the season 1.76 coming into today. And the delivery is a pop-up bunt, but it gets down. Wolanski unable to get there as Ramalia trying to move the runner over into scoring position. Interesting you put the bunt play on after you see four consecutive balls coming out of the bullpen.
I know that's a bunt that our own Connor Newcomb would definitely not approve of right there.
Well, no balls and 1 strike to count on the third baseman for Gaithersburg. 2 for 3 in the day. Runner's off with the pitch, square to bunt, pulls it back, throw down to second is not in time. And Roper able to steal second. So, pitch called a strike, so we probably won't be seeing the bunt from Ramalia. If he can get another hit here, he can get that run in from second base.
And as a pitcher, it would be pretty unnerving to hear the sound of fireworks going off as you're trying to get out of an inning.
Yeah, just imagine if you're doing that in the middle of your windup. Sometimes that concentration can be broken. The 0-2 will miss up. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count now on the Gaithersburg right-handed hitter. Here comes the 1-2. A swing and a miss. And down goes Ramalia. Bunzy getting his first strikeout of the night.
Now batting, second base.
Jordan Westberg will come and take his turn to face off against Bunzy. Struck out looking back in the second. Dodgers could use one of those. Fly ball out to left and a ground ball to third base to complete his 0 for 3 so far. And the delivery. And that's a fastball. It's going to miss a little bit down. Here comes Wolanski. Again, you wonder now with a runner at second base, did he mess up the signal? Was it second signal? Was it first sign indicator? Are we going last sign? Whatever kind of signs that the catcher and the pitcher want to go with. Maybe kind of discussing it right now. As I don't know if Wolanski was necessarily, he kind of slid like he was trying to block it, but it was a fastball that got to him in the air, so perhaps that's it crossed him up a little bit. A couple guys throwing down the bullpen again, don't know, and that's the Dodger bullpen, don't know if that is actually warm-up related or if that has anything to do with just wanting to throw. Swing and a miss at the 1-0 pitch, and I'll even the count at a ball and a strike.
And Bunzy standing at 6'3" on the mound, a little bit of a bigger guy. He throws downhill against some of these hitters with a decent amount of power. Those guys are swinging right through his fastball.
1-1 pitch on the way to Westberg, and another swing and a miss. Good pitch there by Bunzy, and ahead in the count, a ball and 2 strikes. Another strikeout here would be big. Obviously, you want to keep that runner right where he's at second base. We're in a 2-run ball game. 3-1 the score. Giants 3 runs on 6 hits, have not committed an error, and run on 5 hits and 2 errors for the Dodgers. 1-2 pitch. High fly ball out in the right. Going back is Bellamy. Doesn't look like he's going to get it, and he won't as that ball one hops and gets to the fence. Coming in to score from second base is Roper, trying for third, and getting there safely is Westberg. And a 1-out triple increases that Giants lead to 4-1. And the Dodgers are in real trouble now.
And you can credit that triple to the large and wide Joe Cannon Stadium outfield. That one got over the head of Bellamy, who was not going to be able to make a play on that, went all the way back to the wall, and Westberg had days to run around, reached third base standing up.
Dodgers will bring the infield in here, hoping to cut down that run at the plate or at least keep him from scoring. As now the ball getting past Wolanski, and the runner's not going to try and advance. And not sure what happened. As Westberg stayed right where he was at third base, as the ball getting all the way over towards the on-deck circle for the Giants.
Seemed to not have a ton of urgency to get home and bring another run around.
Causa ahead in the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Now 2-0 as the pitch will miss outside.
And just like that, Rob, it's another incident for the Dodgers where they're giving up runs late in games. This one is an insurance run to possibly put it out of reach.
The Dodgers, we've seen them score multiple runs in an inning, but it hasn't happened terribly often. This team has had to scratch out a lot of victories. Baltimore Dodgers with the lowest batting average in the Cal Ripken League. The fastball will miss up. Yeah, Dodgers hitting .229 as a team on the year. So haven't been a team that's been explosive offensively for most of the time. 3-ball, no strike count, and cause of swings and misses at the fastball. Might have been a little bit outside. 3-1 the count.
Got the green light on a 3-0 count, runner on third. I guess it's a situation where you're just trying to bring insurance runs home, lengthen the game, but he's a guy with a lot of command issues so far.
And a swing and a miss at the 3-1, and Wolanski coming up looking like he wanted to fire down to third, but holding on to the baseball as getting back was Westberg. So now the Express doing their part in D.C. They've come back 7-6. They lead over the D.C. Grays, so the Dodgers can pull one out here, and that score can stay where it's at. Maybe, or the Dodgers could jump up into a playoff position. So the Dodgers now have to do their part, and the Express have to hold them off. So if the Express can do it, why can't the Dodgers?
Well, a lot of it depends on how this at-bat terminates here for Patrick Causa, who's worked a 3-2 count. Another run here would be very detrimental to the Dodgers' ability to come back in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, Express scoring 5 runs in the 5th inning. As a breaking ball will miss outside, and why not appeal? Just check it. We've seen a swing that didn't look like a swing called a strike, and that's going to do it for Bunzy, because here comes Derek Brown. He's going to make a call to the bullpen. We'll see who comes in, and we'll tell you all about him when we come back. Dodgers trail this one 4-1, and they're trying to get out of some trouble. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball. Back here at the bottom of the top of the ninth inning, the Baltimore Dodgers trailing 4-1. Runners at the corners, just one away. New pitcher in for the Baltimore Dodgers, Jack Chaney from Salisbury University. After Ryan Bunzy couldn't get it done on the mound, top of the order now, and well, Alex Wolanski's going to come out and talk to his pitcher. I guess get on the same page. Ryan Bunzy, not the best of outings. A third of an inning, a hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout. He's given up 1 so far. The runner at third and the runner at first, both his responsibility.
Yeah, not a great outing from him. Didn't demonstrate a lot of control. Was able to work a couple of counts deep, but unable to finish the job. Gave up a triple with 2 strikes, and then with a full count gave up a walk that eventually ended his day. So now the Dodgers are in a little bit more of a precarious situation. Runners on the corners and only 1 out.
There's Ryan Brown standing in. A nice ground ball here would be good, but a line drive down the left field line. Extra bases will not be, and that's exactly what it's going to be, is that's going to be at least a double. Coming in to score from third base is Westberg. Over to third is Causa. He's going to be held right there. And into second base with an RBI double, Ryan Brown.
Now batting, right fielder from the University
And
of
now
Texas, number 19, Trace.
a 5-1 lead for the Giants, and things just seem to be slipping away. Slipping.
Yeah, the Dodgers pitching staff continues to bleed over, give out more runs. Thankfully, as you mentioned earlier, the Grays trailing the Express, so a loss here wouldn't ruin their chances at a playoff contention and a wild card spot too badly.
Now, typically the playoff spots go to the teams that end up around 500, maybe a game or 2 below, as Busey taking a fastball in there for a strike. So as long as the Dodgers can continue to win, as they've won the majority of their games here recently, as a chopper foul and a nice attempt over there by Pat Heisel in the first base coaching box, unable to make the play. Former player for these Giants. Not too far removed from his playing days, so out there still trying to make athletic plays. I don't think you'll see Jeff Raberman over at third try and make that same catch.
Would not have been shocked if he laid out. He had some pretty hilarious antics before this game.
0-2 breaking ball is going to miss outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Runners at second and third. The runner at third base is the responsibility of Ryan Bunzy. And we'll see what happens, whether or not we'll be able to close the book on him after this batter or later. We probably will, as now a fly ball out in the center will most likely get the run home. Shelby makes the catch. He's going to get it into third base. Tagging up and coming in to score is Causa. The ball getting away from Zach Seal over at third base, but no advancement from any of the runners. Sacrifice fly to center by Busey, and now 6-1 the Giants over the Dodgers.
Yeah, this is the Dodgers have yet to pour. I guess they have poured in 5 runs at a time here at Joe Cannon. It's been a while, but now things are not looking good for this team, as they're going to try their best in the bottom half of the ninth to chain together some runs, chain together some hits, more importantly, at this point.
Yeah, this deja vu all over again for the Dodgers, as they were trailing for the majority of this game, but the last time these two teams faced off here at Joe Cannon Stadium, they took a 4-0 lead into the 7th, and they allowed 10 runs combined between the 7th and 8th innings, so more late inning collapses from the Dodgers pitching staff, and it's not a good sign. It's not a good thing that the late innings are just causing so many problems for the Dodgers. The first delivery fouled away, and a breaking ball also fouled away by Bitzenhofer, and he's down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. So no ball, 2 strike count to Bitzenhofer, the catcher. And he's going to ask for time. Bitzenhofer is 0 for 3, struck out twice, grounded out.
That pitch drops in low for a ball, puts the count at 1-2.
Thank you, Joey. I was preoccupied for a second. 1-2 count on the way to Bitzenhofer. Chopper up the middle. James has to retreat to get it from the outfield grass. Makes the throw. Good scoop. And Bitzenhofer hits the dirt as he's thrown out at first base. So that's going to do it for the Giants. They add 3. They lead 6-1. This is Baltimore Dodgers baseball.
Shelby's going to need to make a play here. Going to have to get the ball out in the outfield. He's looking for extra bases right now.
And a foul ball off the hands back to the screen. Well, right now the Dodgers just need runners, as many runners as they can get. So this is the time of the game where, and unfortunately this is not the way the game's played anymore. I know Connor doesn't like small ball. I'm a fan. I'm a baseball traditionalist. I like the pitcher hitting. I like small ball and all that. I much prefer National League to American League as the ball missing outside. This is the part of the game where you got to shorten your swing, base hit swings, not big swings. You don't need home runs now. You need 5 guys to score. What are the chances you're going to hit 5 home runs in an inning? How many times has that happened in Major League history or any league history? Little League, sure. 2-2 pitch missing outside, 3 balls and 2 strikes. So this is the part of the game where you have to change your approach, in my opinion. And a big swing and a miss there by Jaron Shelby, and he's down on strikes for the second time today. It's the 3rd strikeout of the game for Flood.
Now batting, third baseman.
The Dodgers down now to their last 2 outs of the game. Got to pour on 5 runs at least to push this game into extras. 6 wins it all. Not a whole lot of time to do that.
No, certainly not. Just 2/3 of an inning. As Zach Seal takes a fastball that's right down the middle, maybe at the knees for a strike. Zach Seal 0 for 3 in today's ball game. Struck out twice and now down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. The Dodgers not doing themselves any favors here, swinging at pitches up around the letters and taking that first pitch fastball in there for a strike. And a swing and a miss. Had a ball in the dirt and Sealed down on strikes. 4th strikeout of the game for Flood, and the Dodgers down to their final out.
Now batting.
Top of the 9th in D.C. The Express still ahead of the Grays. So hopefully the Express can help the Dodgers out. It doesn't look like the Dodgers are going to come back. You always hold out hope here, but 5 runs with 1 out is certainly a tall feat to try and accomplish. That fastball catches the outside corner. Not a good pitch there to swing at. Tough ball on the very first delivery from Flood. And the same pitch, maybe a little bit up. But a swing and a miss by Wolanski, and the Dodgers now down to their final strike. Could we see it? The perfect inning from Evan Flood to close things out? We'll see.
It's unfortunate that that's the anticipation we have for the end of this game.
Whoa, and that one was close. I've complained a little bit for the Dodgers' favor, but if I'm the Giants, I'm a little upset they didn't call that. Unless maybe it stayed a little bit high. That looked to catch the plate on the outside corner. At least got that the part of the plate that's been called a strike. 1-2, that's in the dirt. A spiked fastball, maybe a bit of frustration there from Flood. Well, even the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Wolanski trying to keep the Dodgers alive here as they trail by 5 in the bottom of the 9th. He swings and misses at a fastball up. And the Dodgers go down 6-1, and they strike out in order to end the ball game. We'll be back in just a minute. We're going to give you a short little wrap-up because, well, we don't really want to spend too much time talking about this. We'll be back shortly. This is Baltimore Dodgers Baseball. back here at Joe Cannon Stadium, where the Gaithersburg Giants defeat the Baltimore Dodgers by a score of 6-1. The Dodgers falling to 10-16 on the season. Gaithersburg Giants improving to 14-12. Unfortunately for the Giants, they're not going to be able to pick up any ground on the Redbirds, who won 13-8 over the River Dogs today. The Dodgers quite possibly could stay right where they're at, a half game out of a wild card spot, with the DC Grays currently trailing in the 9th inning to the Rockville Express. But what I do want to talk about here, Kevin Graff and Evan Flood came in, pitched the final 4 innings for the Giants. They did a fantastic job. 9 strikeouts from Dodger hitters in the last 4 innings of this ballgame.
Yeah, definitely. Just an incident where the Dodgers generally weren't being aggressive enough early in counts, got into a lot of 0-2 holes, and then from there they were at the mercy of the umpire. A lot of times in this game, the umpire at home plate was giving that outside corner strike to the pitchers, and the Dodgers didn't adjust very well to that. And because of that, they were only able to get 1 run during the game. And then once you got to the bottom of the 9th inning, Hetchke was out of the game. They were bringing in Ryan Bunzy to end it, and he wasn't able to do so. They had to bring in Jack Chaney to close things off, stop the bleeding, and that's what ended in a 6-1 loss for the Dodgers. Thankfully, right now, it looks like it won't damage their postseason hopes too much, but definitely is demoralizing to come back home after 2 really big wins in a homecoming game affair at Johns Hopkins University and not be able to put many runs on the board back in Joe Cannon Stadium. And they're going to have 2 more games here later this week.
Yeah, they've got an off day tomorrow, 4th of July. Happy 4th of July to everybody continuing to watch and hear us. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoy the cookouts. Hopefully the players get some needed rest. I mean, they had an off day yesterday, but maybe they can take their minds off baseball tomorrow just a little bit, take their minds off of this game and get things righted for when they come back here on Wednesday. So we do want to say we wish you a great 4th of July holiday. Josh Hetchke, the starting pitcher for the Dodgers, goes 8 innings. Not a bad outing. 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them were earned. Walked 2, hit a batter, struck out 5. He gets the loss, drops to 3-2 on the season. Alex Klitzis goes 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, walked 1, struck out 7. He gets the win. And as I say, the Dodgers lose this one by a score of 6-1. Have a good holiday. Join us on Wednesday for Baltimore Dodgers baseball.